Runaway robot. Welcome to DieFall, Season 2, Episode X. I don't actually remember. It'll say somewhere in the VOD sometime. I think it's total episode 16? Yeah, I think it is 16.
Don't quote me on that.
Damn.
I think it is 16, but I could be very, very wrong.
That's a lot.
So welcome. For those of you that joined me for the DM prep stream, thank you, and welcome back. We'll hang out here for a second. I wanted to hear about Rob's experience with his Nintendo Labo.
Oh man.
If it's good, bad, ugly,
It was
what's the
cardboard
deal?
as fuck. No, it was super interesting. I think my favorite thing about building it was like, how can this piece possibly turn into what it's supposed to turn into? And sure enough, it's super intuitive, and the response, it's the most cardboard VR experience I've ever had in my life, but it's pretty cool.
The most cardboard VR experience.
It was definitely cool.
Cool, man. That's good. And you said there was one game you have that's
so it came with the robot game, because it's the robot kit. But there's like extra pieces in the box, so I don't know. I gotta look at the box and see if there's anything else I can do with it. And there's like other things on the software that I didn't look at.
Sure.
But first impressions, it's pretty rad, but it took me like 5 hours to build.
Really? Wait, so is it just that complicated, or is it just like a pain in the ass?
No. It wasn't a pain. It was very straightforward. It just took a while. And I don't know if it was because I was streaming and like talking to people, but like,
sure,
it took a while. It was a lot of moving parts, as it were. But it was definitely pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Professor Sakarum, have you completed the Detective Pikachu thing? I don't even. What is it? I haven't seen any of it. What is it?
Oh man.
What do you do?
To answer your first question, no, I have not completed it.
Okay.
Because what happened was I got super lazy / my computer's filling up really fast. And I'm having a hard time trying to edit, or at least do that. So I've gotten about, let's see, I think there are like 10 chapters, maybe a little more than that in the game. And I'm at like the third. But it's very good. Essentially, if you've ever played any sort of like Professor Layton game or Phoenix Wright or something like where you go around and find clues, it's that. You go, essentially, it's talk to people, the game, and then you have a moment of figuring out, like putting the puzzle together. It's really not that hard. You'll figure it out like way before it wants you to, but it's still really fun anyway, just because the interactions that happen. It's really hilarious. It's just a funny game.
Cool. I just keep imagining like Pikachu in like a black and white noir film.
Yep.
Like just sitting behind the desk with a slow twirling fan and like a cigarette and a thing just with the smoke going up. I'm just
That's
like,
his
man,
voice.
that is amazing. I love that.
Pikachu, haven't heard that name in years.
Oh, hey.
Ash Ketchum, back in town. Capturing, holding Pokemon hostage. A bastard. Yeah, I love it. That's good. All right, Rel, what have you been playing, man? Welcome. It's been a while. We haven't played for 2 weeks, so hey, how are you?
Yeah, I am doing fantastic. Yesterday, I had a couple of Japanese friends come over. We made shabu shabu, which is hot pot, for those who haven't had it.
Hell yeah, man. Love hot pot.
We basically played a whole bunch of video games. My buddy brought over his copy of Mario Kart for the Switch.
Yeah.
We played that. We played some Smash. I'm still excellent at Smash, except I'm really out of practice.
Excellent at Smash.
And humble as well.
Yeah, clearly humble about it.
Oh no, I am humble, because here's why. I know I'm good, but the friends that I play with online are better.
Yeah. There's gonna be someone better. There's always someone better.
There's always better.
There's always someone better, especially
unless you're
any
the
online.
best.
but
and then next year someone else is better than you. It doesn't matter. It never stays.
Hear that, kids?
I want to
give up on your dreams because you'll
never
be the best.
You'll never be the best.
But I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Well, you can't.
You can't. Yeah.
Shut up, sit down, and eat your cereal.
Ash always wanted to be the best, but he literally every new season completely forgot literally everything he had ever learned about like Pokemon types and leveling and how to use a Pokedex.
It's only really bad in like one season, and then like it gets better after that. I don't know.
That's a lot of false promises, I think, because every time I've seen it, I'm like,
he gets Metroided every time. He just loses all of his ability.
All of his stuff's just gone.
Yeah.
X and Y is really good.
Otherwise, I've just been playing Xenoblade 2 and trying my damnedest to actually finish it.
Right.
I have over 120 hours so far, although admittedly, probably like 20 of those hours are just me leaving the game on because it has the same function as like Assassin's Creed 2, where you can send out like some of your blades missions.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just got that yesterday.
Like downtime stuff. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, and like some of them is like you have to complete this mission in order to be able to do a thing, not for story purposes at all, but just for side questy type stuff. So just sometimes I just leave the game on and let it run down.
Interesting.
I'm patient.
I feel that, man.
Feels
cool.
right.
Cool. So you guys, you ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons this week?
Super.
I think I'm gonna skip it actually this week.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Yeah, see you guys.
Great. Cool.
See, I would have punctuated that joke by leaving the call, but I would be so afraid of fucking up the camera.
You would have literally just messed up everything. So let's just not do that.
15 minutes of setup.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay. Yeah, because Discord already today is being an ass. Like, I don't want to deal with this today. Jesus. All right. So things that I continually forget to do is with our new goals system. At the end of every session, we should be evaluating these goals, going over them, and awarding experience for each of these things. And I always forget. So what we're going to do is start with that. We're going to start with some goals stuff. Cool. So I'm bringing up my goals list for you guys. I went over it in the DM prep stream, basically who's getting what. So when I read these out, let's make sure that they're all correct. Ignas, you're at the top of the list here. Your first goal is find and save your dad.
Yep.
Take revenge on whoever ordered the poisoning of your father, which at this point in time looks like it's Vol Rule. And then the last one you had was get every PC to the stronghold alive.
Yep.
All right. Well,
so if our
lucky
new ghost
for
friend
you
dies and becomes a ghost, then it's fine.
Well, you got to the stronghold, so you've completed your last goal here. It was a pretty tough goal considering the traps and the fights that you guys had. So you are awarded.
And the fact that we left the beaten path and basically got lost in the caves.
True, lost. At least there were some tracks there, but yes. So you get it's 100 times your level, so it's 400 experience for that. And do you have another goal you would like to place in that slot?
Let me just add the 400 here real quick. There we go. All right.
We can come back to you if you want some time.
Sure, come back to me.
Sure. All right, Miera, your 3 goals currently are get info on what happened to your village and your brother, learn about the organization The Hand, and incur no lasting impact to yourself from being on this mission. Yet to be decided what impact means, but kind of what we're looking at there. Do these 3 sound good to you, or do you want to just start looking at changing some of these out, or what's going on?
Hold on, let me take a look at these because I had them written down. It just takes me a moment. I think I'm gonna hold on to learn more information on The Hand and obviously learn more about my village. Do I have to have 3?
Yes.
Okay, because I keep struggling really bad trying to figure out a third one because my character, or at least myself as a player, know still very little about the world that we're in. And
that could be a goal.
Things out.
Sure, that could be a goal for Miera. You could try to figure out where all this came from, what happened, get closer with Ignas and find out what happened to him, or why this is even a problem. I mean, that all of those things are goals.
Okay. So what I think I'm going to change that last one to finish mission without lasting harm to become closer to the party, like learn more about the
as
party.
A whole.
Yeah. like as a whole.
So basically, what the party is, Ignis and Darien.
Yep.
So the way that these work. Oops, I totally just typed that in Ignis's slot, not yours. The way that this works is that they will decide if that has happened. If you guys have become closer friends or something, allies.
Yeah.
Become closer with party. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Sure. All right, Darien, your number one priority is protect Ignis.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We've kind of talked about how protection works in this, where you have to like physically do something, or like to there's got to be a role involved, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like do battle.
Yeah.
You have your secret one, and I can't remember if you switched out become closer with Miera, or if you had selected complete mission with Jirok alive.
Yeah, I complete mission with Jirok alive is the one that I subbed in.
Sure. Okay, cool. Because I have them both written down here, and I didn't remember which one you had switched in.
Yeah.
So, do these all still sound good to you, or do you want to?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So, based on the last session, where you have complete mission with Jirok alive, you spent that session and you did make progress in that regard. So you have 100 experience that you get to take for making progress towards keeping Jirok alive. So good for you.
I remembered to not use the numpad and mute myself because
there you go.
Yeah,
Awesome. So Ignis, have you come up with a third that you'd like to slot in?
So based on how utterly crap Ignis did at disarming traps and opening locks,
sure,
in the last session, I figured his goal would be to like get better at the kind of skullduggery that's involved in using his thieves' tools. I don't know whether that... I'm just not sure how that would work as far as accomplishing that goal. Just become more dexterous? I mean,
that's one way. There's multiple ways that you can do that. There are like +1 thieves tools. Like every roll that you make with thieves tools is at a +1, but those are magic items. So there's opportunities to make that happen. The fact that you're already past level 4, I think, means that you don't have an opportunity to up your dex without an item until like 6. I think that's right.
Yeah, and I wouldn't up my dex anyway because it's that.
So
the base number's at 14, so I wouldn't get any.
There are definitely magical means to becoming better at finding and disabling traps. So, you know.
All right.
There's spells for that kind of thing too. So I think you have opportunities for that.
Yeah, I was also looking at the feats list as well to see if that was an avenue I could use. And I wanted to ask about, if I can find it. There it is. Observant. So it says I have a +5 passive bonus, or bonus to my passive wisdom, which is fine. And intelligence investigation scores. Does that mean I get like an additional +5 on any investigation roll I make, or is there a passive?
No, it'd be passive. It's all passive. So it's the same thing. Here, let me bring up where is it? Observant, right? I'm reading your thing right now. Increase intelligence or wisdom by 1. You picked wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see a creature's mouth while it's speaking in a language you understand. You interpret what it's saying, so you can read lips. You have +5 bonus to your passive wisdom and passive intelligence. Yes.
Right.
So when you passive perception is like you notice things.
Okay.
Passive investigation is when you look at something, you notice details of it more immediately. And then to find greater details of either of those two things, you'd make an active roll on it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Just wanted to know if that would ever come up, or if it's just mostly going to be perception.
It will. It will. Perception is the easiest one that like comes up the most often because it's like you literally just notice things around you.
Right.
But an investigation, that one's harder to kind of quantify, but it's definitely one of those that like you notice the details of something much more quickly and like off the cuff, but you'd still have to make active rolls for either of those things to get more detail on them. So in your third slot, do you want to find a way to find and disable traps more easily?
Let's say improve my skills in disarming traps and or picking locks, or improve my skills in utilizing my thieves' tools.
Okay, into utilizing thieves' tools. Sure, that's something you can figure out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So I think that covers our goals for today. So let me grab a sip of water, and we'll get back to the story and where we left off. So 2 weeks ago, I think you guys had found your way to the old dwarven stronghold, seemingly abandoned as far as you can tell. Various rooms and beds and things were just dwarf corpses, but it looks like everything's been left untouched for like a very, very long time. So you've made your way into the stronghold proper, and there was a patrol of orcs that you guys had a fight with, and at the end of that fight, you guys were approached by someone who seems very out of place, a very old dwarf. Kind of came whistling up the road and approached you guys as seemingly a friend. He said his name was Odeg. You invited him inside, and that's kind of where we left off. So you guys are in what looks to be a housing district of a abandoned dwarven stronghold. There's an old dwarf there named Odeg, and you have just invited him inside to where you guys were. I guess you went next door from where the fight was. So all the corpses are in the house next to you.
Yeah.
And you guys broke into the one that you're in now.
We wouldn't litter up our home with all those dirty, nasty corpses.
Yeah. No, you leave them in someone else's house for them to pick up.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
So I think that's where we begin. Odeg walks inside, following behind. I believe Darien and Miera were the ones that were looking outside. And he hobbles up. Again, he kind of has the like a wild white beard, long wild white hair. Again, it's the Jumanji "What year is it?" look, but like all white. And he's got some spectacles on. He has a small kind of stout cane that he's utilizing. You can see that he's wearing these kind of like gray and old. They not seeming like tattered robes. They're not in disrepair. They just seem. You can see like notice of like where he's had to sew it back together, or where like he's caught a couple scrapes here. They seem to just be older clothing. And you can also see that he wears a symbol around his neck, which is the symbol of the aspect Belarus, which is something you guys have seen a couple of times while wandering through the halls of the stronghold here. So he, as you motion for him to come inside, he goes, "Yes, thank you." And he hobbles up inside and takes a look around and notices a small gnome and looks over and sees a very large orc standing just inside, wiping the blood of his blade off on some of the bed sheets of the dwarven household. Odeg goes, "Whoa! Seems like you missed one." And he's got his staff up like this, his little stick, and he's about to go take a whack at Jirok, and Jirok's kind of just looks up and just what? And so, unless any one of you guys decide to do something,
hold.
Jirok's gonna take get swung at.
No, I jump out and I say, hold. He's with us. He's a friend.
Yeah.
And
Jirok's kind of like got his sword half up, and Odeg looks around and says, "A friend? No, orcs are no friends." And he kind of looks around. "What do you mean he's a friend?"
Consequences of our current situation have formed a bit of an unlikely alliance, but I assure you he is with us.
And so he kind of looks at you and lowers his cane slowly and goes, "I'm not sure I can trust friends of orcs." And Jirok kind of just looks at it, just sheathes his weapon and shakes his head slowly and sits down on the bed next to the bloodstain that he just put there by wiping off his sword. So Odeg looks around at you guys and goes, "Came to check out all the commotion. Yes, the commotion. Someone seemingly set off my traps. Yes." And he kind of just looks around and he says, "I think you alerted the orcs to your presence, maybe? Was that you?"
Looks over at Ignas, kind of nonchalantly.
I am taking extreme interest in the ceiling.
Okay. Oh man. So he has like this like weird smile on his face. He's like, oh, old egg. I keep this stronghold still safe after all these years from those. And he gestures over at Jirok again. Gray-skinned scum. One of my favorites. That stone trap. Loud noises. Scares people off most times if it doesn't crush them. Yes. And various other ones I keep running around here. Most of these orcs know to avoid certain areas of the stronghold these days. Yes.
Have you set many traps in this area?
Oh, many, all over. I have secret ways around the stronghold that none of these grayskins know about.
Are the grayskins, and I'll just give a slight sidelong glance at Jirok, in the stronghold?
Oh my, yes. Stronghold's been abandoned for hundreds and hundreds of years. I believe I might be the only one left of my clan. But they have moved in vile creatures, and more each day, and prisoners every other day.
You know if someone named Valrul is there?
Yes. The one who sits on my father's throne.
That's interesting, because we've actually come to kill him.
His eyes light up a little bit. I had hoped you were the adventuring types. Yes, you will help, yes. I believe we can, but maybe not. There are many of them. Are you sure you're prepared for this?
I'm gonna just pull up my bag of holding and take out a single stick of the dynamite. We're ready.
He looks at the dynamite and says, I'm not sure you are.
Do we have more?
Let me show you, I think. Safer place. Follow me. We will go to where I stay. In the secret halls. And he kind of looks sidelong at Jirok and goes, are you sure he's safe?
Yeah, pretty safe. Worst case scenario, he's very sick.
Make a persuasion
very
check.
Sick. Okay. Persuasion. No, that's perception.
That is indeed perception.
We make
I can kind of see that he's okay.
Yeah, nice. Good roll.
Nice.
So he looks at you and looks at Jirok and goes, I trust a fellow short one. Yes, we will take him for now, but I don't like having an orc know all my secrets. And but he kind of turns around and like hobbles towards the door, and then waves over his shoulder. Come on, follow me. We don't have all day or night.
The dynamite
hard to tell down here.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'll just stick the dynamite back in the pack and follow after him.
Yeah.
Sure. So he kind of like hobbles out and like looks slowly to the left and slowly to the right, trying to see if he sees anything. And then he starts hobbling down the stairs. He's not making an active perception check. You guys are more than welcome to try to do that because he doesn't see very well.
I think I'm gonna make a look. Anyone want to help me take a look?
I'm gonna be looking around for orcs.
Yeah, so you guys walk outside the door, back into the housing district, and you're gonna take a quick look around, see if you can't see any signs of other shenanigans happening. So go ahead and roll that up.
Cool.
I guess that was perception at advantage. You're getting some help.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. 20. Nice. Yeah.
Aha.
So you've walked out, and
Thanks, guys.
It's dark. Again, Darien, at this point in time, you're probably needing to light another torch. I know I don't keep track of these as much as possible, but like every once in a while, man, you're gonna have to relight one of those torches to be able to see. But
Yep.
So It's dark, and so the small light that's being cast out by this torch, about 20 feet, casts these weird shadows on all of these stone houses that line each of these streets. And Odeg just starts hobbling down, and he takes a left down one of these main areas, and just keeps walking. After about 30 seconds to a minute or so, he comes up to next to a wall where it looks that there's a pedestal, and the feet of an old statue still remain on the pedestal, but the statue itself seems to be gone. And he starts looking around on the wall next to this statue. So he as he looks around, he kind of looks over to where the statue was, and goes, took everything they did. And maybe we shouldn't have made everything out of silver. And then he pushes a stone in the wall, and you watch it push in and then slide over, and a small passageway opens up in the wall next to the statue. And he again, not even looking over his shoulder, just motions you, and come on, I haven't got all day. I probably should already be dead. And he starts walking forward. And then he calls out while he's in the little cavern, he calls out behind him and he says, "Shut the door when you're done." And then, keeps walking.
Is it an obvious door that can be shut, or do we have to press another button?
You don't know. It's just the wall moved in and slid behind another piece of the wall. So you can take a look and see what you want to do with it. Okay. You can try to figure out if you know how it works.
Sure.
Make an investigation check.
Sure.
Yeah. So easily enough, you can tell, like, when you kind of move your gnomish hand around the side of the wall there, and you feel a little trigger mechanism that seems to, like, reside on one of the bricks, and you kind of just push it like this, and the wall slides over and pushes itself back forward. And so you've closed the wall behind you.
Okay.
So whether or not this applies to all of the doors or all secret passages in this, you don't know, but you know how this one works. So that's pretty cool. You can make a mental note of that.
Sure.
So you guys turn around and you start following Odeg down this, like, dark, cramped little cavern, because this is very dwarf sized. So Ignas, you walk through just fine because you're shorter than he is, but everyone else is definitely having some trouble walking. It's you gotta kind of hunch over, scraping along on some stuff. It's A, secret passage, and B, a dwarf-sized secret passage. So, there's not a whole lot of space in here. Jirok is having some serious issues. Just trying to not, bang his head on literally everything and anything that's in here. He's basically crouched down, like almost hands and knees, to try to, like, walk through this. So, do you guys continue to follow him down into this cave here, huh?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Where else are we gonna go at this point?
I don't know. You want to follow a strange dwarf into a weird closed-in cavern? Go for it. So,
sure. What's the worst that can happen?
Where he's going.
So, you guys continue walking for a little bit, maybe about 5 minutes or so, and you seem to be going on an incline, kind of upwards. And it's slow going. Odeg's not very quick. He's just hobbling along. And he's just kind of mumbling to himself. In Dwarvish, though. So does anyone speak Dwarvish? I don't think so. But he's talking to himself in Dwarvish, as he hobbles along.
Goblin, not Dwarvish.
Okay.
Dang it.
I mean, you can ask him what he's saying. He's just speaking in Dwarvish currently. What?
You know how you would ask someone what they're talking about if they're talking to themselves.
So I'm gonna kind of just speak up and say, "Excuse me, is everything all right? You seem to be mumbling a little bit."
And he stops and he turns around and says, "Nosy elves," and then kind of like stamps his little cane down and goes, mumbling. "I've been here for hundreds of years on my own. Of course, I talk to myself just a little bit. I'm my only friend here." And then he kind of turns around and keeps walking. Seems to be a little annoyed at you. Whether or not that's racially driven, you don't know. So, so he continues walking, and as it comes kind of up on a rise and plateaus out a little bit, there's a small slit in the wall, and it again, it's dwarf height. So, Ignas, you might need a little boost, and the rest of you kind of have to stoop down. But he stops at the end of this slit and gestures to you. And goes, I think you should see this. And he gestures to the opening.
All right, I'll take a peek.
Sure. So you look out basically into a dark expanse, but what you start seeing is that there's fires lit all over the place, and you're starting to, after your dark vision adjusts to see these flames in kind of this distant area, maybe 100 or so feet kind of down and over from where you are. It looks like an old marketplace. Large open area where maybe shops or stalls used to be. A lot of the stuff is made out of stone, so it all still stands. But it looks like it used to be like the old dwarven marketplace here. You see further down where some large braziers are lit. Again, large like stone statues that have been kind of toppled and torn over. But it looks like it's the entrance, the main entranceway for wherever you are. But what you also begin to notice is that there's a lot of moving shapes and shadows in between all of the braziers and fires that light the floors in this marketplace. And I'm going to need you to make a perception check for me here, see if you can pick out some details.
Oh, boy.
Yikes. Okay. Lots and lots of shadows and movement, but you can't really make out what exactly everything is. But you do see hundreds of fires lit and more shadows. Like for every fire that's lit, there's probably 10 to 15 shadows around it that you can barely kind of make out what they are when you look down and into it. Odag, as he watches you kind of take a look at this, he says, thousands of them. I'm not sure that some dynamite, even if it's still functional, will help you here. You may try. I think there may be something else that we should do. And
a lot of dynamite?
He looks at you and says, how much do you have?
I've less than 20.
He looks at you and then he like glances to the side and says, don't know if that's enough, but you could try.
Before we collapse the entire cave.
Yeah.
So he turns and starts walking, and he motions over his shoulders. This is not the only area they're in either. No, old housing districts full of them. The old temple completely ruined. Heretics. Blast them all. And he keeps walking. Yeah, you want to keep following him?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep following him. He mentioned something that could potentially help. I'm gonna be very curious to see what it is.
Sure. So you keep walking, and it kind of does this. It starts winding a little bit, but again, you walk. There's another slit that pops up, and he motions to it again, and he kind of points out towards an area. And when you take a look out, you see just lines and lines of shackled prisoners, varying races, sizes, and things like that. Again, whoever is looking is more than welcome to make a perception check to see if they see exactly what the makeup of all of this is and what you're looking
at. How easily would I be able to see it past my torchlight? Like it's a lit room?
So the room itself, it's like it'll have like fires and braziers in the corners of the room and near stuff, because orcs have dark vision, but it doesn't mean they like being in the dark all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the room is lit, and plus there's a lot of some of the races you've noticed in here. They're humans, so they definitely don't see in the dark. But it seems like they've if you want to make a perception check, I can kind of tell you how they're all arranged. But you're more than you can see into here without any disadvantage.
I'll
I think.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want some help?
It'll.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Do it. Get some help.
Make that an advantage.
I believe in me.
13. So yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough to see kind of what's going on. It looks like this used to be an old housing district, and part of it that you've stopped near. About 50 feet away from like this wall. Essentially, it's like this wall of bricks and stuff like that, and you're just looking out in this tiny little, like not even in an arrow slit, but you can see what's going on outside. And there's just groups of prisoners that are just bound together. And looking through it, you can see that some of them bear the armbands of the various companies from Erdrick. possible prisoners of war from the battles that have been ensuing. You see some orcs, you see some goblins, you see elves. There's dwarves there too, and they're all in various states of dishevelment and like prisonery, right? Like they some of them have been there longer than others, and otherwise. And as you're looking at this, another line of prisoners is being led in. Again, it looks like they're mostly human, and you see the armbands of the Golden Eagle on some of them, and it looks like a lot of the prisoners from the battles that have been taking place around Erdrick have been brought here. For what reason and or why, you don't really know, but there seems to be part of this housing district that you're walking past in this passageway seems to be housing lots of prisoners.
Is there anybody that I recognize at all?
Off that perception check, no.
Okay.
No. It's still like there's too many people, and the light's not good enough for you to be able to tell. So Odeg kind of turns around and he looks at you and goes, every day they bring more. I think I know what they're doing, but we'll discuss it when we get to my hideout. Yes. And he kind of motions you again. Says, don't dally. We don't have all day. And he continues walking.
Continue.
Yeah. So he continues on, and he ends up walking. Basically, there's a flat wall, and he kind of just puts his hand on it, touches something, and the wall moves in and slides over. And he kind of pokes his head out and looks around a little bit, and then hobbles his way out. And again, he says, "Shut it when you're done," and just keeps hobbling.
All right, I'll attempt shutting it the same way.
Sure. Make an investigation check. See if you can find the mechanism.
That's a 3 roll.
Yeah. So you kind of put your hand around. You're kind of looking in the same area as where the other wall is. But it turns out you can't find it.
I'll mention this to him.
Oh, you're just gonna leave it open?
Am I gonna? I mean, the choices are between not following him or just keep fiddling with the door.
Sure. Okay. You keep walking. All right. So you've exited this secret passage that Odeg has brought you from one housing district, past the marketplace and past another housing district, and it kind of opens up. It looks like it's not necessarily stonework out here. It looks like you've walked out through an exterior wall and have come out into what looks like an open, like dirt expanse. It's wet. The ground is moist, but it seems like it's not like you're walking through mud, but it does seem like here it's very damp, and it's very wide and open. And Odeg is just walking through what looks to be like an empty dirt field, and just continues walking forward. He gestures around with his stick and goes, used to grow certain types of mushrooms down here, but then we lost them all to some disease, and then we lost everyone to a disease, and he keeps walking forward.
Would those be the same purple mushrooms that are up above in the other caverns? The ones that kind of explode?
No. These were for eating, not exploding. And he keeps walking. So he walks across. It's probably about 200 feet across, and he walks across the whole thing just super nonchalantly, and then approaches a natural stone wall. Do you guys want to take a look around, or are you just gonna keep following this dude until he's done?
I'll take a look around
because I want to know what the deal with the prisoners is.
Sure. So do you want to take a look around? Just go ahead and make a quick perception check.
I'll take a look around just for the sake of curiosity. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, so the field itself seems to extend beyond your dark vision. So it doesn't look like you can actually figure out the features of things until you start approaching the far wall. So you get to the wall where he's at, and he's running his hand over the stonework there, and he says something, moves his hand over a wall, and you watch as the stonework, the natural stone of the wall pushes inwards, and he steps back and gestures you and says, "Please, welcome to my, I wish was temporary home." And he kind of just gestures you forward. And as Jirok goes in, he goes, "And you, don't touch anything." And then he follows up, closes the stone block behind you guys. You watch it as it swings, closing, goes, and just, the whole natural stone wall behind you is closed. When you walk inside, it's very small, and it seems that he's tried to create something that looks very similar to the homes that are inside of the stronghold itself. There's a small bed in the corner, a fire that's built, kind of worked into the stone, with a small cauldron sitting on it, a chair and a small desk, and there seems to be a shelf that's full of these various books. Not a whole lot else going on in here.
All right, is there a place to sit?
There's the edge of the bed, one chair, and the floor, and maybe if you can lean against part of the wall or find a little rocky outcropping, maybe.
You know what? I'll bring up the guy's chair, I guess. Offer him a chair.
Sure. He looks and he goes, "Very kind young man, aren't you?" And he turns around and shuffles and sits, and he goes, and he points at Miera and says, "Put the kettle on. I'd like some tea, and I think it'll make this a little easier."
All right. And I'll walk over to wherever he has his kettle and place to boil water.
Sure. So he gestures over to a wall and he says, "Water over there. If you just dip the kettle over there." And when you approach that wall, it's kind of you can't really see it, but once you look inside and down, there's actually a small rivulet that runs in the house, and as you allow the pot to fill up, it looks like this is how he generally gets his waters through here. Yeah, and so that the teapot or the kettle fills up, and the fire is already on, but a little low.
All right. Yeah. It's quite convenient that you have this source of water coming through here.
He nods, and smiles. He goes, "Hundreds of years, you make some conveniences for yourself."
I like it. And I'll take the kettle that's now full of water and put it over to the fire to get the water to boil.
Sure. Yep. So you stoke the flames a little bit, bring him up, and the water begins to heat. And he sits, kind of hands on top of his staff, leaning on it while he's in the chair. And he looks around at each of you, kind of lingering a little longer on Jirok than probably is necessary, but you can imagine his unease. And he looks around and he goes, "Well, where are you from?"
We're from Erdrick, in fact.
Erdrick.
Yes, the mighty city my lord and I hail from.
When was Erdrick founded?
Okay, I personally don't know, but Ignas would know.
Ignas would know. Make a history check to see how close you can get for it.
Why?
You're I think it was my great or one more great grandfather that founded it, but I'm not super certain on it.
8 great grandfathers ago.
He goes, "Gnome lifetime? Yes, that sounds familiar, but I believe my people were gone before then. I have not been above the ground in hundreds of years."
In a while, then.
You haven't seen the sun in hundreds of years?
No, my dear boy. Some of us like being underground.
Wow, you've missed out. They've got blue now.
Blue. He kind of says this word because it's in common, kind of awkwardly, and he doesn't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's very nice. It's very nice. Some people prefer classic yellow, though.
Classic yellow. I do not know these words.
Well, anyway, you mentioned something about defeating the orcs.
Yes, get them out of my home. I may be the last Silvernail, but I will not have these grayskins disgracing my home. And he looks over pointedly at Jirok, squinting through his little glasses. That goes for you too, ring bearer.
So the prisoners, what do they have planned for them?
Thousands of them. I believe they take some of them into the Great Hall every day. They don't come back. As far as I know, I try to care for the prisoners as I can, but there's so many. I can only bring so much food and water every day to try and help them without being seen. I believe most of my work is better served in harrying the orcs with various traps, old traps that I try to keep intact.
So I had a couple of thoughts, either of which were dynamite related. How easy or how difficult would it be to free some of the prisoners, specifically the Golden Eagles?
Well,
any of the mercenary companies.
I was thinking the same thing, my lord. We could mount an offensive using these people.
Surprise attack.
The orcs don't know they brought us some of Erdrick's most capable warriors.
I think they know. They're from the battlefield proper, most of them without any weapons. I'm not entirely sure where they keep those, but I think they just hand them back out to their own forces. They're only tied, some in cells. They keep erecting new pens, much like livestock, to keep them in. And when they're in those pens, they take off their bindings and they allow them to free reign within, fighting over slop and dirty water every day. And they have keys for each of these paddocks, the cattle. And
because
he says,
I happen to have some weapons that we picked up from the orcs before. So even if they can't get weapons easily, we could outfit them.
Yes. That could help.
There's some light armor in there too, isn't there? We picked up some of the hide that these orcs were wearing.
Yes, indeed. I think we did pick up a couple of suits of armor.
And you hear the dwarf kind of chuckle a little bit. He's like, a couple suits of... There are thousands of these prisoners. A couple suits of armor and weapons.
Better a couple than none.
It's possible. I would like to see them freed. I would.
We can outfit a few, and then they attack and steal more from the people that they defeat.
Oh, yeah.
We might be able to mount at least a decent force.
And as an aside question, last week, did we actually loot the orcs that we killed, or did we just leave them there? Okay, good.
You did.
Okay.
But you left most of the stuff. You took their money.
Oh, well, geez, I can just go strip them down then. That would mean walking all the way back.
It would.
And he'd realize that we left the door open and he would yell at us.
There's a lot of we and us in that sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't see any of you guys trying to close that door.
A lot of group responsibility here.
What a shame we blew up the old dwarf and collapsed his house. I can't believe we did that. You're the one that lit the fuse.
Oh my god. So he looks around at each of you and I think that freeing prisoners would be a good plan. Could help. Good, but I think there might be something else that we could use as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And that is?
There's an old vault the dwarves, my clan used to keep over near the forge.
Ooh.
Valuable items inside. My old bones, I can't get there. Even through my secret passages, it's well guarded. The orcs know where it is, but they have not been able to get by. You know, us, traps. Not easy, but you could find something useful there, I think. Maybe. It's one thing to take down the orc army, but Valrul himself will be a different matter, I believe. Unless you can catch him in a crossfire, which is possible, but maybe you can separate him? I don't know, but I do know that the vault will have something that you may need. Armor, weapons. But it is well guarded, and as the orcs have found out, some of the old pets of my forefathers are restless and hungry.
We may have had to kill a few of those on our way here.
No, you would know if it was this one. What do you think? I have one condition for telling you the location of the vault, if you accept.
Yes?
The tomb of my great-grandfather, one of the last of the Silvernail clan chiefs, wielded a hammer. And his tomb, which is in the vault, is that hammer. I can only be the last Silvernail clan chief if I wield the hammer. And I need it. Bring it to me.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall have the power of McSwiggins.
Oh, I want that to be.
And crippling alcoholism.
They go hand in hand. Battle prowess and alcoholism are directly related, especially in Dungeons & Dragons.
One causes the other, which then causes the other.
Did I ever tell you that the first time I rolled McSwiggins, we had planned to do, like, I think it was 3.5, and they had a drunken fist class.
Oh, God.
Where, like, just a drunk monk. And the drunker you got, the stronger you got, and that was the original McSwiggins.
Jesus. That's amazing.
Why wouldn't you choose the drunken monk?
It's not a 5e thing. That was more of a 3.5.
No, I know, but back in the day, why wouldn't you?
Oh, no. I had planned to. We just
No. Who wouldn't pick drunken monk?
Oh, exactly.
I guess is the point.
Yeah.
So
if we can get to the vault and recover the hammer, we will do our best to return it to you intact.
Tag that along on the end.
Yeah.
Intact.
So we might hold on to that bad boy. Bastards. So he, like a slow, small smile comes up on Odeg's face and he goes, "Good. The last family heirloom belongs with the family, not in some tomb. Silvernails aren't all dead. Not this one. And if I'm to go down fighting, to help you free the prisoners, fight against this Valrul, having that hammer would be right."
All right. I actually have a request for you. You set all these traps, and while I have a set of tools to disarm them, I've never been terribly confident in my ability to do so. I was wondering if you could either show me the tricks you use or just give me some general advice.
Advice. Don't get hit by them.
Besides that
they're very loud sometimes. Yes, advice. No. Once I set them, I have to do my very best to not trigger them as well. They're sensitive, and I believe I probably have the same trouble as you, trying to avoid them. I just know where they are. That's what helps me.
I don't.
Setting them is much easier than turning them off.
Yeah. I don't suppose you have a diagram, or it's just all in your head.
He taps his head like through the thick white hair. Oh, I've been here for hundreds of years, boy. Don't write these things down.
Any particularly dangerous ones you could warn us about?
Yes, every one in front of the vault, that's for sure. I didn't even set those. They've been functional for hundreds of years, and I don't even have to touch them. They're fueled by the forge itself, and the forge never dies and never cools.
Then, are we to go through the vault in the front door, or is there a side passage?
There is no side passage to the vault, silly gnome. Why else would we set all of these traps?
For stupid people to go through the front door.
Indeed. And many have tried. Especially these orcs. I've watched them from my passages, burned alive, as they try to access the vault for the secrets within. Valrul is very keen on picking out what's inside.
All right. So enter the vault, recover the weapons and armor, get the hammer, free the prisoners, arm the prisoners, lead an insurrection, kill Valrul.
Sounds so easy when you put it that way.
Yep.
There will be more struggle, I think. These halls crawl with orcs now. All over. Some stronger than others, more well-armored too. It seems that they have ways of arming themselves. I believe there's a king to the north of here, Orc King, outfitting them. Or was. And Jirok kind of nods where he's leaned up against the wall. Yes. My king in the north would have sent arms and armor for all of the freed slaves here. We may not be dwarves, but we make good work. And he kind of looks up at her. You are loyal to them? And he kind of looks back at each of one of you. And you let him in my house? Why do you trust him?
He is really sick.
Sick. Sickness wiped out my entire clan, and again, you bring him into my home.
Let's just say he's very formidable in combat, and he's kind of the reason why we're here today.
Yes, indeed.
Brought a plague blanket into his home.
Well, we should probably explain to him that it's poison and not disease. But I think Darien's picking his nose right now. So.
Good on Darien. Good on Darien. I think at this point the tea kettle itself is piping hot. And Odeg kind of gestures over and says, Elf girl, whatever your name is, I don't believe I know any of yours. I tell you my name, and you come into my home, and I don't even know your name.
Pardon the rudeness. My name is Miera.
Pour the tea, then tell me your name. You'll find the tea, little cupboard over there. And where he points to a quote-unquote cupboard, it's just a rock in front of another rock. And you kind of just slide it out of the way and, like, reach your hand inside and, like, pull out some, like, you know, a little wooden container and open it up, and there's some tea leaves in there.
And I'll finish preparing the tea. As I take the leaves and put them in the water. Yeah. So he's there. Excuse me. And he looks around and says, "Oh, never thought I'd have very many visitors. I believe I only have 2 cups, unless you have your own." You do. You have like eating utensils in a canteen. You have a cup. You have a cup. Just giving you shit.
We're civilized.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. So Miera, you pour out the tea for everyone.
We're adventurers.
Sit back down. Yeah. He cradles the tea in both hands, kind of like smelling the steam as it rises from the cup. And he exhales deeply. And he goes, "Disease wiped out all of the Silvernails. The ones that remained after the blight. and after the plague, they went west. I am the last remaining one, and I do not know if my families survived. Just bring me the hammer, please. For an old dwarf. Last relic of his family.
We'll do our best.
You can count on us, my lord.
He puts the cup down on the small table and pushes himself out of the chair, and you see him walk towards the fireplace, where, like, the little alcove is where you had hung the kettle, and he reaches underneath, pulls a stone away, and rummages around inside, and he pulls out a wooden box. He's placed his staff to the side, and he comes out and he holds a wooden box, and I think he hands it to Ignas. He says, "This is for tomorrow. I think you should rest here tonight, but these will be useful. It is dangerous. Take them."
Should I open it now?
He shrugs. "Yeah, if you'd like." And he opens it for you, and he looks inside. So he points out to each one. There's 4 potions of healing and a potion of fire resistance.
I will pass out the potions of healing.
Sure.
Let's see. I'll just keep the potion of fire resistance.
Okay.
Make another.
I feel like the potion of fire resistance might be more useful for someone else, but I can't really decide. I don't know. If it comes up,
most useful for whoever's detonating the dynamite.
Actually, is dynamite fire damage?
No, it's not. It's actually
force damage.
Force damage, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's even more dangerous.
Hooray!
So he hands you these things and then sits back down in his chair and takes his cup and he says, "You may rest here. Just roll out your bedrolls, and I believe you'll start in the morning. I will draw you a small map how to get to the vault through my doors. I could lead you there, but I will not be able to join you. My old bones aren't made for adventuring anymore."
Oh no, we'll be fine. Maybe. I did
have
one last question. I don't suppose you have any more dynamite, or know where we could get some.
No, but the vault might be a good start. I don't think anything would have been kept not in.
We're gonna blast our way out of the vault.
I'm gonna blast our way into the vault and then use whatever's in there to blast our way into completely decimating the mountain.
You're gonna blast your way into the vault that might have more explosives in it.
Yes. Destroying the hammer.
Great.
Okay, yeah, the one thing he's asked you to go do. As long as we're on the same page.
Said intact.
As long as we're on the same page. So I believe most of those are, if they were still intact. That powder does not last very long. If they're older sticks, you may get a fizzle, but no boom. My brothers used to do the mining around here, and well.
Would you be able to inspect what I have and see if it would still work?
No. There's no miner. He holds up his little his medallion with the symbol of the Lars. I was a priest.
Oh.
And no need to go into the mines.
Oh, right. I picked up the bad symbol.
Yeah, the car symbol.
Yeah, I picked up the bad one. But I left the good ones. I was respectful of those corpses.
You don't tell him that, do you?
No.
Okay.
Please no.
No.
Agent of Satan! I let you into my house!
He likes that one. So he just slowly sips on his tea and looks around at you, and he looks up at your rock and goes, "Well, now that you're here, what's your story? I've told you some of mine. Only right that you're here now. Tell me some of yours."
Well, You looking at Jirok first?
He's looking around the room.
Okay.
In general, you're from Erdrick. And he kind of looks at all of you.
Well, according to our orc friend, Valrul Valrul ordered my father to be poisoned and killed. So I'm very much in favor of throwing this dynamite in his face.
I can see why. Yes. And you, Paladin of Aelus, lovers?
Yes.
Is she one of yours? Your working girls?
Well, no. We are warrior combat partners.
Combat.
And then I just take a very loud, awkward sip of tea.
Oh my god.
We met on the field of battle, and I very much respect her figure body combat prowess.
Combat prowess. I can see. And you, fire-haired elf? Are you from this Erdrick? We have time.
Well, I'm not from Erdrick. I'm actually from a city a bit to the west. A small merchant town called Melrius.
Melrius? Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah,
surface dwellers with your weird names for places.
Very small, yes. The blacksmith's daughter, actually. So, weapons are sort of in my nature, but I left my home for a while in search of meaning and strength, really what it meant to be, what I was labeled as. And then eventually I stumbled across Darien here and helped him out a bit, him and some local farmers, and we've kind of been around ever since.
And the cat? Where'd the cat come in?
Well,
kind of like pokes at Balmior with a stick.
Be careful. He gets a little bit anxious. I stumbled upon him while he was injured on my travels, before I met up with Darien. He and I grew kind of a bond.
I see. Out of place down here. Could have done better with maybe a mole or some kind of digging animal. But pretty enough, I guess. And you, tall, dark gray one, are you from this Erdrick? Jirok looks down at him. No, we've already established I'm from the north. I was given to Valrul by my king. And he holds up his hand and shows a ring. You've already noticed what I wear. And Odeg kind of just, he nods sadly. And he goes, yes. You should not have ever put that on. And Jirok just nods. He goes, yes. My time is short now. I was the one to kill. Well, try to kill the gnome's father. He survived, so I will die. But he kind of nods over towards Darien. This one here keeps me alive.
He's my blood bag.
Strap me in.
What
and
a
he goes,
lovely day.
Jirok goes, I will do what I can to see Valrul fall. He is strayed far from the path of my king. My king only sought the freedom of the slaves of Erdrick. Too far now. Too many prisoners. Too much death. I think he works in the favor of his aspect more than my king now. And that will not do. So Odeg kind of like nods. Yes. I can see why you might be a bit upset about that. Yeah. Karis is not an easy aspect to please, but Valrul has done well with prisoners, sacrifices. The spreading of disease that took this place probably helped. Why they picked it. Yes. It will not do to have him here. And he kind of, you see him like nod and understanding about where Jirok's coming from. So. Anything else you guys would like to do? He's gonna like finish his tea and, go lay his old man butt down on the bed.
I think I've asked him all I wanted to ask him.
Okay. Sure. So you guys, you lay out, you put your sleeping bags down, and you cuddle up. It's safe here. There's no need to take any watches or anything like that. You each get 131 experience for the orcs.
Okay.
From the one fight from last time. You're back at full health, all your spells restored, etc., etc. You get half of your hit die back if you spent any. I don't remember if any of you were down any.
I was going to, but then we get to take a long rest, so.
Yeah. You guys, you had traveled quite a long ways through and getting to the stronghold and stuff like that. So, good stuff. So, afterward, quote-unquote morning happens. You're underground. You have no idea. But basically, you just hear Odeg kind of banging around in his small home. And I think he, ends up poking at, accidentally knocking, Balmiar with his stick or something like that. So you kind of hear the cat yelp a little bit as Odeg's trying to, walk around and, maybe he stumbles over Ignas's body or something like that. Kicks Darien's shield. As he wanders around, attempting to make some tea for the morning, he places out as you guys come to consciousness and stuff. He hands out essentially just small handfuls of these mushrooms, and then in roots, and he gives them. We used to grow so many of these here before the blight, but now I just keep a small garden across the way. But please. I eat. They're good. Yeah. Meaty. Maybe a little tasteless, but, breakfast. He kind of just hands those to you.
Only I had some spices. Soy sauce.
Darien eyeballs the mushrooms very specifically.
Does Darien eat them anyways?
What's the ratio like on my plate? Let's give me an idea of mushroom versus root.
Oh, 75% mushrooms. Yeah.
I'm just gonna pop one in my mouth.
Yeah. No,
I look at Ignis terrified, just
eat it. Like you said,
normal
meaty
mushrooms.
They're meaty, somewhat tasteless. But
very good.
Finishing your plate, I mean, that's a meal. You're good for the day, essentially.
I will eat it, albeit slowly and cautiously.
Holds up my mushroom to Balmiar to sniff real quick.
Oh, you want him to check it out? All right, Balmiar, make a perception check with smell. So I think he has advantage on it.
Yeah. Let's see. Perception. Ba-boom.
It's a mushroom.
Popped it in.
Yeah. Balmiar, being carnivorous, cannot eat the mushrooms and actually, sustain himself.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what you feed this panther, but hey, we'll talk about that some other time, maybe.
Well,
Speaking of, has he actually...
orcs, he's free to eat them.
Panther chow.
Panther chow. Get your panther chow.
Maybe one of the rations.
Yeah, so there's dried meat in the rations.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to feed him some of the rations probably. It's just it's not easy to feed a panther underground where you don't know where anything is.
Exactly.
He's been eating the orcs.
Yeah, so far he's been.
Sure. He's been nibbling orc flesh.
He's been nibbling on the orcs.
Great. I'm sure Jirok loves that.
No. He's
good. Behind some mutilated corpses.
Yeah, I'm sure Jirok loves watching.
Specialty.
Yeah, loves watching his brethren get eaten.
But this time it's not my fault.
You see Jirok as you guys are like finishing your breakfast. He pops a couple of mushrooms into his mouth and then puts the rest into a bag, and he looks at all of you. He's strapped up his long knife and his sword. And he looks at Darien and to all of you and goes, "Well, do you have any more healing for me, brother?"
And then Darien saunters over and I'll expend
caresses him.
5 points. Caresses
his jaw. They look longingly into each other's eyes, and the brief.
From this moment.
Are you sure it's not Jirok who you're trying to romance?
That's who he should have put there.
Yeah. And Jirok looks at Darius and just says, "I wish I knew how to quit you."
There's just some sort of unspoken thing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Got some fan art of Darien and
Jirok.
Oh my god.
That is bros.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
That is some deviant art type quality stuff there, man. I wish I knew how to quit you. Oh my god. I love it.
Oh my god, I love it. Yes, I will heal my
you watch as Darien caresses Jirok's face, and as the warm white pink glow from his hand
I'm not actually caressing his face. I put it on.
The veins recede from the curse back, and Jirok takes a deep inhale. Thank you.
You smell divine.
Is that L'Oreal?
Somehow. You know what? I'm just
Garnier Fructis. Such long, luscious locks.
I'm just gonna say, while this is happening, Ignas is watching this. This hand
with his hand in his
pants.
With his hand in his pants.
Casting his ritual spell and just thinking.
I'm turning to Odeg and just like, I really don't know if I want to associate with these people.
Odeg's just looking around.
Let's set the scene, shall we? Jirok and Darien are wrapped in a lover's embrace as Ignas's hand is down the front of his pants. Like, just, oh my god.
And Odeg's just sitting there.
Odeg's cucking us. No.
Well,
covering Balmiar's eyes.
Quite the adventurous party you have here.
We do this every morning.
It's a morning ritual. We do this right after breakfast. Jesus.
Oh God.
Why am I
so you needed Miera.
So you cast your 5 points of divine healing magic onto Jirok, and you watch as the veins recede a little bit, and he takes a deep breath, seemingly relaxed, and he nods at you, and then he looks to the group and he says, "I have done my job and gotten you here. I must go and return to my brothers before they figure out that I'm no longer with them. If I can find a way to help you free the prisoners, I will."
You really
kind of looks around.
Have to leave us.
I believe any longer will arouse suspicion. It's been a week. Took us forever to get here. I must at least check in. They will wonder why I'm not dead, but my brothers know that I'm stubborn. And he kind of pulls the hood up and he looks at each of you, and he extends his hand to Darien first, I think. And he goes, "Thank you for your help, and I hope this is not the last time I see you."
I hope it worked. I hope you make the journey safely. And if nothing else, I'm glad that I could ease your suffering.
He has a small smile. The tusks on his lip, they kind of curls up a little bit. Thank you. And he looks over to Miera and he goes, Well, I guess it was nice to see you. And he looks over down at Ignas and he goes, and you, I apologize again for what I did. And he extends his hand to you. Just know that it was necessity at the time, and I'm glad that I failed.
Don't know if I've forgiven you yet, but I don't hate you for it. I'll take his hand.
He nods. He looks over at Odeg and goes, Dwarf, thank you for your hospitality. I may come calling again if I can figure out a way to help. And Odeg, yes. And kind of just like sits there.
Next time, take the regular path.
The regular path, yeah. Without you, I can walk freely among these halls. Luckily, we have not left survivors that know who I am. He looks back at Miera and goes, It was a pleasure. Fierce in battle, as you are fierce of hair. And he looks down at Balmiar and he's like, And you? Never thought I'd like cats. And he kind of like scritches behind Balmiar's ears and he pulls his hood down and he exits, pulling the stone in from where there's a little ridge. And he walks out. Door shuts behind him. And your boy Jirok has left the scene for the moment.
There goes our DPS.
I can't believe he wanted a fucking morning quickie and then just dipped out.
Hey man,
sometimes you gotta. What do I look like? Some sort of cheap whore?
You gotta get it out of the way.
You first tried to flirt with Miera, and now you try to flirt with Jirok. I mean, you just person to person. Who's next?
You know what? You know what?
I get. I'm heartbroken.
He literally worships the aspect of love. This is gonna happen.
They never
love and romance.
It hurts so bad.
Oh my god. That is the worst.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Jirok has left.
And with him
promises of returning.
With him our only shot of surviving in combat.
Yeah, basically.
I suppose you'll have to
improvise.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Seriously, how many kills has that guy got?
Fucking game.
You know, maybe he's a little broken for your level, so we need to remove him because Darien figured out how to, I don't know, make him not die. It helps.
Robot.
It helps. No, it was good. It was good.
Come on, man. You chastise me for not figuring shit out, and then when I do figure something out, you punish me for it.
No, it's not.
I want off this train.
What is this, God of War?
No,
I got you.
He needs to leave.
Bye, Jirok.
But yeah, he plans to return, so we'll see. But yeah, so what would you guys like to do? Odeg is finishing his tea.
Do we have our map yet?
So Odeg looks. I assume you're asking him.
But I'll ask in a nicer way.
Sure.
Have you completed the map that we'll need?
Where the fuck is the map?
He
piece of shit.
Come on, old man.
He looks at you and he nods. He goes, I was thinking last night. I think it might be better if I just took you through the tunnels. My old brain is not what it used to be, but these feet know where they're going.
All right. Trust you in that.
Sure. So after your breakfast and your goodbyes, Odeg gets up and he's gonna go. He's gonna lead you guys towards. I assume you guys gonna try to go to the vault first, or figure that out.
I'd say go to the vault. Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you head that direction. You again the expanse of dirt in front of you. You notice now that you didn't see before with your perception check, Ignis, that there's actually a small like bed of mushrooms, like kind of off to the side, that really close to the wall. There's like a row that kind of runs the length of the exterior, and this is probably where he gets his food from. So you guys cross again towards the secret entrance door that lies wide open, and Odeg kind of turns around and looks at you and goes, What is this? Did one of you leave this open?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. It was different from the other door. I'm very sorry.
You let the blight in. Now the old man's dying.
It's over. He dies immediately, and that's
Heal me, Paladin. Do it now.
Yeah. He goes, I knew I shouldn't trust a gnome, and he like walks forward, and he said, and then
oh my god, I'm a victim of racism.
He like
get used to it.
Yeah, he waits for you to like walk through, and then he closes the door and then shuffles past you guys to get back in front, pushing you kind of out of the way because it's a very tight fit. And he takes the front again, and you kind of walk past the same areas that you saw before. It looks like he's leading you back to the same direction. The pathway itself is one direction, right? Like it goes one place to another. So do you want to like stop and look at any of these things again, or do you want to just keep walking towards the end of the hallway there?
I guess the only thing I would want to see is the area where the orcs were taking all the slaves.
Sure.
Captured prisoners.
Yeah. So you take a look through that slit again, and you see what he's been talking about. It looks like they're erecting like large enclosures out of wood and stone and rope and stuff like that. So it looks like they can't escape in any particular fashion. It also seems pretty well guarded. There seems to be lots of the, the look that you guys become accustomed to for these orcs is that they're all like they're acid scarred. So the cultist orcs is essentially what we've been calling them. But among those, there's also goblins that are running around poking at the prisoners with sharp sticks and harassing them and things like that. But there do seem to be a couple thousand of them here. Kind of all like locked in together.
Yeah, I feel like I want to use my lip reading ability, but whose lips would I read?
It's up to you.
There's thousands of people. I don't know. I guess make a perception check to see if I can spot someone important.
Sure, based on like clothing and stature and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go for it. See if you can't spot something.
I can't.
It's just they're too tightly packed. It's too many of them, and they've been separated into these pens, and they're kind of just all shoved together. All of them look so disheveled. Some of them stained with blood of either their own or others, battle hardened. It's a mess. It's a real mess. But yeah, you don't seem to pick out anyone in particular.
I guess I'll just rejoin the rest of the group and continue on.
Sure. As you pass the second one where it opened out into the marketplace, Odeg stops and glances through, and he goes, "Wait. Watch this." And he kind of gestures towards the slit. So when you look out, where all of those fires were, there seems to be now one large one in the middle. And it looks like there's been an opening. So there's a large fire in the center of what used to be this marketplace. And around is just rings and rings of various orc tribes, goblins. You see a couple ogres, larger in stature, just dotted around the area. And standing in the middle, you see like it kind of opens up, and there's a passway through where all of these orcs and stuff are standing. And a long line of goblins are walking through. It looks to be like a full other tribe. There's about 150 or so, and they walk all the way to the front. And there's one that's at the front that's wearing this kind of like weird headdress. It looks like it's made of various human skulls. So they're a little bit big for his little goblin head, but there's like 2 human skulls attached to him here. And it looks like he walks all the way to the front. And from what you can see, there looks to be an orc of, pretty average stature, but wearing long robes, holding a large staff, with looks to have like, well, you wouldn't be able to tell from this distance, so it wouldn't matter. But he's wearing robes, and it seems that he's got them cast back. He's got a long gray beard and long wild gray hair that he seems to have tied back mostly, but it like frizzes out from behind him. He has one long tusk, and it looks like the second one is missing. And this goblin has approached him, and the goblin addresses the orc. You're quite a distance away, and the goblin is facing away from you, Rel, but with good perception check, you might be able to make out what he's saying.
Oh, good perception check. Well, okay.
I would call it a DC 13. So good. You might be able to make out what he's saying. Yeah. So you hear this goblin as he walks up and he stops his spear into the ground. He's got his tribe arrayed behind him, and he goes, "I've answered the call of Valrul. What would you have us do?" And who you assume to be Valrul answers in Goblin. He goes, "Good. I'm glad you could join us here and your brothers. We will find space for you. What do you specialize in?" And the Goblin kind of looks at me. "Killing, obviously." And he kind of like points at the skulls on his head, and Valrul chuckles a little bit. And he goes, "Yes, you goblin types seem to like your killing. Good. We will find a place for you. Are there any other tribes that are coming from the east?" And the Goblin kind of looks around and goes, "I don't think so. Maybe us, maybe one other, but I am not sure." And Valrul nods and goes, "We will send more messengers. They will come." And then he kind of gestures over to the side, and some other orcs that come out, all kind of robed very similarly to the shaman that you guys had found in the mines, step forward. Each of them holding a flask, like a water skin. And Valrul, after he gestures out, turns back to the one with the two skulls on his head, and he goes, "Two Skulls tribe. Are you ready for your ritual? Are you ready to accept Karis? Or will we turn you away?" The little goblin kind of like turns around and looks at his tribe and he goes, "Of course we're ready. Let's do this." And so you watch as they basically form a lot, like the same line, and the orcs, there's about 6 of them, walk down the line, each of them being handed skin after skin of acid. And they walk down the line and pour it essentially over these goblins. From what you can see, it looks like most survive, but some do not. And the ones that don't, the orc shaman that have walked by basically just look down at them and just, keep walking, and they keep pouring the acid. And then Valrul kind of like, after they go past all like 150 of these goblins, Valrul stops them and goes, "Now, those of you that do not stand will stand again." And he extends his hands out, and you watch as that black smoke that you guys have seen previously and pretty much all of the corrupted beings starts coming out from his fingertips. And it snakes through all of the ones that had the acid poured on them that had survived. And it finds its way into the mouth and nose and eyes of all of the ones that had died. And over the next 5 to 10 seconds, each of these ones kind of crick and rise and begin walking again. Each of the goblins that had survived look around kind of in shock and in horror, and seem to be pretty riled up at what this is. It doesn't seem that they were expecting this. But ones that seem too scared and stuff like that, the orcs that have kind of in the semicircle that surround this kind of come and like pull them away and like calm them down and stuff like that. And basically they start cheering, right? They're excited to have another tribe into their fold. And so we come back to Odeg, and Odeg goes, "Every so often, a week or so, tribes come from all over the mountains, seeking out Valrul, his gifts, undeath, seeking out Karis. Aspect of disease only grows in power while we dally. Come." And he kind of gestures you forward and keeps walking.
Walk away from that a little bit.
So he keeps walking, and you guys come to the housing district that seemed pretty abandoned. So it looks like, yes, there are like thousands of the orcs and the goblins and the ogres and stuff like that here, but it looks like they haven't expanded far enough to totally encompass the stronghold. But you exit, and next to that same broken statue as before, and Odeg continues walking. He goes, "I think it was 1." And he's like looking over to the houses, 2, 3, 4. And he like turns and he walks into the door of one of these houses. And as when you walk in, It looks the same as pretty much all the other ones that you had. It's very simple. A couple of beds. It looks like maybe one or two of the miners from this district used to stay here because it's much closer to the mining entrances.
Mm-hmm.
But he walks over to the fireplace and he touches a brick there, and the fireplace itself swings forward and opens up halfway. And he gestures through and says, "This one. I believe it's this one." And he walks through.
All right. Can I take note of which brick he used?
Make a perception check. Let's see if you could see it.
Perception checks.
And you know what? I'll have him set the DC here.
Oh, God.
I'll have him roll.
All right, well, there's mine.
19, that's pretty good. So Odeg here. Let's see what he rolls. Character sheet. He's not trying to be sneaky, but you might not have missed it. So let's see how fast he was. Nope, he was super slow. So he like his old shaky hand kind of comes out and then he like touches it and it opens up and you notice exactly which brick it is. Yep, it's like third from the right on the mantelpiece. Yep, so you're good. So you notice that one. Yep. So you walk on through and you continue walking. This one's a little wider. It's still like it's still, dwarf height, right? Like, so it's still very small, and a lot of you guys are really hunched over trying to get through here, but it does seem a little wider and more well, like, carved out, maybe better prepared. It seems the ones that are internal to the stronghold might be a little bit better prepared than the ones that lead out. So he continues leading you through, and there's a split that you come across, and he stops for a moment and he goes, "Remember this? That way," he points to the right. "That's where the forge is. You may need to go there for the key to the vault, which is that way. Or was it the opposite? You don't much remember. It won't take you very long to get there. But if you continue walking down that way, or that way, you need both areas. You'll be fine." And he kind of just like shakes his head at you. "When you get to the wall, there should be a catch on the top right of each of these doors. You can find it. It should open easily. I'm going to see what I can do about those prisoners, maybe ease their suffering. You're more than welcome to return to my home. You can find it. But there's plenty of abandoned places here that you could stay as well."
True. You're not coming any further with us?
Oh. My old bones aren't made for adventuring. I'll do what I can to help. Bring me the hammer, and I will fight. I will fight as well as these old bones can.
All right. Then I thank you for your help thus far.
He kind of nods, resting on his staff, and he goes, "I hope you do survive this."
I really do too.
Yeah,
I really do.
And he kind of like walks between you guys and exits back towards the way you came. So you're basically at a Y juncture here, where one passageway, he thinks, goes down to the forge, and the other one goes down to the vault. From the distance that you guys have walked, it's probably been about an hour to an hour and a half of total of walking. So you're not necessarily sure where in the stronghold proper you are. When you started walking through the door from the fireplace, there's no slits in this one. There was no openings. It looks like you were very internal to either underground or something else. It had a general decline, and you kept walking. So it's been quite some time. But yeah, you're at a nice little Y junction here. Where would you like to go?
Do we trust him and go the right, or go the other way? I don't know. I think that we should probably try the forge first to see if we can find a key.
I agree. He did say that we'll need to go both ways, so even if he was uncertain about which way was where, we should go down the right.
Darius?
Darien.
I knew.
Every time.
I don't have the stream going. I couldn't cheat by looking at it. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Damn it. Damn it.
Yikes, boys. Yikes.
Darien.
Thank you. I go where you go.
All right. Right-handed. Let's go right.
To the right. And with our heroes having made their decision to go down the rightward passage, I think we'll take our little break here.
Oh, boy.
So we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. Thank you for joining us here. And we will continue the story in about 3 to 5 minutes. So hang on tight.
Spoilers. Rocks fall. We all die.
No! Oh my god.
You did what with sushi?
I ate my weight in sushi the entire first hour of this, and I'm just like,
Christ.
Oh, I was hungry.
I'm a little jealous.
It took them an hour and a half to deliver it. It should have come like 30 minutes earlier than it did.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts. All right, well, welcome back, guys. Appreciate your patience on our break here. So where we left off, our heroes had decided to go down the rightward secret path that the old dwarf Odeg had pointed them down, saying it probably goes towards the forge.
Probably.
So yeah. So you guys go down that direction. After about 3 minutes more of walking deeper down, it seems to have a pretty steep incline downwards. You come to essentially where the wall stops. So what would you like to do?
Inspect that wall.
I think that's a great idea.
So, what was his name? Odin?
Odeg.
Odeg.
Said that there should be a catch for the doors to the side. I'll focus on there. See if I spot something there.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I'll on the investigation, just trying to see if I can find it too.
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay, investigation.
Double crit 1.
Investigations.
Yeah. So to the top right of basically where this wall is, you kind of you find a little seam and you follow your little finger along it and you find it, and you press on it and the door slides backwards and kind of moves over a little bit. And it cracks, so you can see through about a 3-inch crack if you'd like to look out before you start walking out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's a little hard to hide, even with a 3-inch crack, because Darien's torch kind of spills some light out. But who's looking outside?
Darien.
I'm blind.
I will take a look, and I'll ask Darien. Can you move that torch behind the door?
Yeah, I can.
Well,
so it's not illuminating my face.
I can try.
More than it should be.
You can try. Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. Let's just see what you see.
I see very
little.
It's a 6. It's a 6. So it opens up, and it looks like it opens up into a large chamber. There's tall columns, about 4 of them that sit out in front of you. And it looks to be just a very large, well-constructed dwarven construction hallway, very similar to the areas that you've already seen previously. You don't see much else.
No forms of anyone.
Not with that perception check.
All right, so
no, you don't see anything right now.
I don't think there's anyone in there, but probably be careful just the same.
All right.
Okay. So you guys kind of push the door open all the way and walk out, and light spills into this it looks like there's the 4 columns that you see in front of you, and the stone cobbled walkway. To your right, it looks like there's another hallway that goes down a direction. To your left, again, another hallway. It looks like you've kind of come into a section here where in front of you, it looks like, is the entrance to something that's pretty important. There seems to be a statue used to be a statue. Just the feet remain of where a statue used to reside, out in front of what you would presume to be the forge that Odeg had pointed you at. Again, to the right is a hallway, and to the left is a hallway. And behind you, because you kind of walked out of a wall, right? You have the hallway behind you as well. So yeah, you don't see anything currently.
You guys think the key is around here?
I sure hope so.
You want to walk?
Take a look.
Towards? All right. So you guys kind of walk towards what you think would be the forge, right? Outside where the large statue is of where used to probably be a dwarven statue of some kind that had been torn down for one reason or another with these orcs, and you walk forward. So you walk into what looks like this used to be a forge of some kind. Two large pools of water lie to either side, and it looks like there's definitely some like large stone tables that would have been worked on. Braziers kind of lie around, and go ahead and make a perception check. One of you guys, and then someone help him and do it with advantage. Let's see what you guys see as you walk in with this torch lit.
Sure.
Oh God.
I'll do it on advantage.
Yeah, please.
Let's see. Let me grab
and I'll help
advantage
because
button,
I'm paranoid.
And bam.
Yeah. So you walk in and you see scorch marks around. There seems to be like soot and against each of like these various columns that line the interior of this area. You also notice as you walk in, there's probably about a 2 fist-sized diamond cut ruby lying in a kind of like a tri-folded like stand. And there's 2 braziers that lie in front of it, and in front of that, it looks like a very you can feel the heat as you walk in. Everything goes up like 20 degrees. It's very, very warm in here. And you can kind of see past the ruby over the braziers. It looks like there seems to be like lava actually flowing in here. It's
like
moving very slowly, but you can definitely see it and see the cracks and stuff like that popping. Yeah, and so out and next to those, kind of about 20 feet back towards you guys, are 2 large like water pits. And you definitely see some setups where dwarven smiths would have been working. But yeah, you see some of these scorch marks, and some of them look like they could have been humanoid in shape.
Huh. I think those were the orcs, or maybe an accident.
Would you like to make an investigation check and find out?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm
Go ahead and make an investigation.
Type.
Yeah. 11. Humanoid for sure, but it looks like they're probably taller than dwarves. So some of the skeletal remains of each of these like various blackened scorch marks on the walls, the floors, and the columns look a little bit larger than dwarfish.
A little bit larger.
Well, okay, yeah, that was me saying a little bit larger. Yes, larger than dwarvish, but humanoid still in shape. I'm not going to say large because that implies like it's a large being instead of like a medium-sized creature, which all of you are, even if you're short.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. Just trying not to like mess that up.
All right. I think maybe we just shouldn't get too close to that then.
Sure. Okay. And that's pretty much it to this room. There's not really a whole lot going on. It looks like any of the various tools that would have been used around here for forging, or like hammers or tongs or anything like that, it's just empty. Like all the racks lie empty. The only thing that remains still in this room is this large ruby that lies in the center.
Every Indiana Jones movie I've ever seen. This is a terrible idea.
Does anybody have a weighted sack?
I have this bag of holding.
No, I was going to say the bag of holding weighs like 30 pounds automatically.
It's precisely the size of the bag of holding. We would never be able to tear that from Ignas's hands while he's alive.
Yeah.
While he's
become Gollum in Trent.
Oh, but we do have some other stuff. No. Put the thoughts out of my head.
No. Please, no.
I'm technically already rich and shouldn't be tempted by a giant ruby.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all that lies within this room.
Nothing else in here,
yeah.
Does anyone see a key or a place that there would be a key hiding?
Maybe the ruby is the key. They're dwarves, they're stonecutters.
Oh, I really hope not. then we have to go up to the ruby.
Because there are traps everywhere.
Yeah.
And those scorch marks could be connected to that ruby.
I think that's almost a guarantee.
Well, there's that.
You can investigate the room if you'd like a little bit more closely.
Sure. Let's take a look around.
Yeah, I feel like you're probably getting some help with this.
Yes.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah. There we go.
20. You can't see any physical means that the ruby would be attached to anything other than what the stand that it sits on. The scorch marks seem to have, like, you know how when something it gets blown back and leaves a scorch mark, like it has a dark centered where it began and it kind of like fades off as it goes back.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like things have that pattern from the direction of the slow-moving lava pit. So it looks like the scorch marks start closer to that and then end backwards, like smeared across the ground. Again, the room itself lies empty other than the ruby, and you don't find any trap mechanisms. You don't see anything else. So it doesn't seem to be attached to anything.
The lava must be powering the ruby somehow. Figure out how. I'm not a dwarf. Or a miner.
Yeah, there are some dwarven runes that lie underneath the ruby, kind of like etched in, but none of you read dwarvish, so it doesn't really mean anything to you.
A check for traps? Or some kind of trap mechanism?
I took that into account with the investigation. There doesn't seem to be any mechanical mechanism attached to any of it.
Mechanical being the key word, yeah.
Yes, that leaves us with the other M word.
Yes.
Which is going to blow us up. You said there were water basins to the side of the room. Thank you, Dusan.
Yeah, large water basins to each side.
Are they filled with water?
Yeah, they are. It seems they're not brackish in any regard. They seem clean. Either if they're from an underground spring or otherwise, they just water in these pools. They're about 15 feet tall by 10 feet wide.
All right. And you said there's a flow of lava going toward the ruby?
No. So the ruby lies in the center of the room, and then on the opposite end of the room is kind of where this lava flow exists.
Okay.
About 15 feet away from the ruby in front of it. Doesn't seem to be attached in any way.
I want to try something. Okay. And it's not taking the ruby out of wherever it is.
Okay.
I'm going to take or dynamite, although that was my third choice.
I keep waiting for that to be a thing. It's just like,
well,
I do too, and then
I know.
It is terrifying.
I'm scared.
It is terrifying.
It made me a little bit paranoid that it's just not going to work because of what the old man said, but I'm also thinking, you know what, why not? Just bundle some together, light it, and throw it and see what happens.
You're an alchemist. You can inspect them yourself.
Oh yeah, that is true. I was gonna ask and I forgot to do that. That's my bad.
Now you know.
Yeah. No, I was gonna legit ask if I can just inspect it myself and see if it still works, but I just forgot. Not right now though. But help me remember to do that later.
I don't want that question answered, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'd rather assume it doesn't.
Oh yeah. So I guess what I'd like to try is just take my spear and just very, very lightly touch it to the ruby. It's the tip of the spear. Touch it to the ruby and just see what happens.
Okay. You take your spear out and you slowly put the tip of the spear onto the ruby, and nothing happens.
Okay. Give it just little tap.
Yeah, you tap, it goes ting. The steel on your spear resonates a little bit, but again, nothing happens. It also resonates throughout the hall. Echoes a little bit.
Oh God.
High pitched.
Well,
like what the hell is that noise? Somebody's been tinging in here.
Who's been tangin'
for
in
like
my
38 minutes?
Who's been tangin'? Nothing happens.
Okay.
It seems pretty securely like latched in. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay. But I kind of want to touch it. I'll just kind of like reach up, pinky finger. Just
You touch it with your hand?
pinky finger.
So you guys watch.
Now has 9 fingers.
you guys watch as Ignas reaches forward, pinky finger extended, very fancily. Everything done with the pinky out is very fancy.
Absolutely.
And he touches the ruby, reaching up towards it. Ignas, it's warm. It feels warm to the touch, and from where your pinky touches it, it's like a small light pulses through the ruby. And then you hear a small rumble. It grows and builds.
Oh God.
The lava flow in front of you becomes more and more active and violent, bubbling. Smoke becomes pouring out. Fire starts spewing in each of these directions, and you watch as something emerges from the lava flow itself. It seems to be humanoid in shape, but about 20 feet tall, maybe about 15 feet across, made of complete fire. And where it seems to have an eyes and a mouth, but it just looks like an emptiness. It's like looking into just, the dark, the blue flames. And it looks down, and it says something, and you can't really understand what it is. It's a series of hisses, pops, and just like what you imagine how a landslide would sound if it was on fire. Through a forest. And it looks down at the at you. At the same time, the two braziers sitting in front of the gem itself also light. Yeah.
I'll just wave up to it and say, "Greetings. Ready for another day of work?"
It looks down at you and says something again in some kind of language that you don't understand. Does anyone understand Primordial?
Gonna go ahead and say no.
Okay.
I got comment in Elvish. That's all I got.
So it continually sounds. It sounds like a forest fire, just tearing through the area, and it's loud and it's echoing.
Is it raising a hand?
Becomes more and more intense. It basically has just risen up and is looking down at you.
Okay.
You guys kind of have a brief opportunity here to do something.
Run?
Oh God, I wish I'd taken that religious symbol now. What do I have? Go on my signet ring?
You hold out your signet ring?
Sure.
The being kind of it pulls itself out of the lava pit. You've approached the pit itself?
I'll take a cautious step toward it. Sure.
You took a cautious step towards it?
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
The heat is becoming absolutely unbearable as you start moving towards it. It has risen itself out of the water, and it starts gliding over the lava, and it starts gliding towards you, becoming closer. You can see like the stone itself becomes red with heat underneath it. And I'm probably gonna need you guys to roll initiative here.
Okay.
So let me move you to the map.
In the arena of death and fire and death.
Also, Miera, make sure Balmiar's health is topped off. He should have full health right now.
Okay, so click in my character.
Should be able to see this guy now in all of his terrible fiery glory.
Oh God.
No, I don't like it. I do not like it. Not one bit.
Oh God.
Why can't I see things?
Let me. You should be able to see.
Usually, sometimes it takes a second. Yeah, so sometimes it takes a second, and then now I can use the slider. I have a black screen still, but now I can zoom in and out.
Interesting.
Sometimes it might need a couple seconds, because I've noticed sometimes when I try, like as soon as we get switched to a map, I can't use the zoom slider, and then I suddenly can. But now I'm still, I'm not seeing anything. Good old black screen.
Vision on?
It should be, yeah.
Well, there's light in the room. There's a lot of light in this room.
Yeah.
Does that
including
help?
the monster? Yes.
Did that help?
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh good.
Oh, good for you.
Good for you.
Oh, good for you.
Oh God. Oh, run.
Yeah. No, run.
Run.
I'm assuming this is the way we came.
Yes, it would be up that direction.
Okay. Run.
So roll initiative.
Please don't roll high initiative, monster. I don't want to die here. I want to die later, in a fiery blaze of glory that I caused with dynamite.
Fuck.
Yeah, right. Make sure I set this up correctly.
Please roll like a 2. Bless you.
He rolled a 9
in the face of danger.
All right.
Well, I still move faster than him, so I'm okay.
He rolled a 9.
I will incur that attack of opportunity to disengage and run the hell away.
Well, you're not on top of him yet, but Darien, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh God, my lord, do we stand and
we
fight?
Run! No, we run! Run!
You don't have to tell me twice.
Sure.
Take the ruby. Take the ruby.
What? No. Okay.
Actually, yeah, if we can grab that ruby
and get out of there, we might be okay.
Yeah.
Unless it follows us through, then we're kind of screwed.
That's as far as it'll allow me.
Yeah, so you take your full turn, right? So you take your move and your action to just run.
Oh yeah.
So you get 60 feet out. Yeah, so you're out of the room.
Okay.
So basically, you're back in that like anteroom chamber you were in previously, where there was the 2 hallways, one on the left and one on the right, and then like the hallway you guys came from that had exited previously. So that's just where you are.
All right.
You can see the immense amount of light and the heat pouring out of the room there. It's weirdly echoey, but it still sounds like a forest fire is occurring behind you, but it's just like echoing through the halls now.
Fuck this.
Well, we've left a nice present for the orcs.
So Miera, it is now your turn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, before I like run, I'm just gonna shout to Ignis. If you want to go, you have the opportunity to, and I'm just gonna run off with Balmiar.
Yeah, you guys get out the same way.
Sure. Yeah.
So would grabbing the ruby use an action?
Attempting to grab the ruby would definitely be an action.
Okay.
So Miara, you spend your turn to double dash. Essentially, you just action run. Okay. The fire elemental primordial being.
Oh God.
We've left Ignis to die.
Bye guys. See you on the other side.
I'm
coming, McSwiggins.
Pulls you see him kind of like glide over the rocks and stuff like that and pulls himself out. Yeah, so he gets to make 2 attacks here on Ignis.
There, guys.
R.I.P. Ignis.
An 11. I don't think that hits.
Hit. No, thank God.
And the second one, a 12. I don't think either of those hit. So as it it's like pulling itself forward out, it lashes out with its like lava fiery arms, and it seems to miss you, but you still feel the immense amount of heat like singeing your eyebrows, and it's very uncomfortable, but he does seem to miss you. Okay.
Oh God.
But the thing is, he also just enters your space. He's literally engulfing you with fire.
God damn it, infection!
So
you have the thing.
What thing?
The potion. Fire resistant potion.
It's not my turn. but good idea.
A creature that touches the elemental or hits it with a melee attack
But you
within
do
5
have
feet
it,
takes
so there you go. So this won't be so
5
bad.
fire. An elemental can enter the hostile creature's space and stop there. First time it enters the creature's space, the creature takes 1d10 fire damage.
Oh
so
god.
He has entered your space just to engulf you completely. Whoops, that's not a roll.
Just get out of there.
So 9 fire damage.
Those water
was really
basins
high.
are there.
And that being catches fire. Until someone takes an action to douse the fire, the creature takes another 1d10 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. That's the fire element. So it's made its attack on you, but now it's just engulfing you, right? So it's like you just see fire and pain all around you. Yeah, Ignis, it is your turn. At the beginning of your turn, you take 1d10 fire damage.
God.
8.
Oh god. I'd rather not use the healing potions already. Also, I just realized Druck had a healing potion. I gave one to Druck. Can I assume that I took the second one myself? Or is it just gone for... When we had 4 healing potions from the dwarf, right?
And you handed them out.
Did Druck just take one and leave with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You handed him one.
You have the fire resistant potion though too.
Speaking of, what does that do?
What is it?
I'm gonna guess.
It helps resist fire?
Specifically, damn it.
I'm gonna guess.
Specifically. Resistance to fire. Yeah, that's something I haven't really learned about. Add the number rolled the saving throw of its choice. Well, that's odd. Okay. What does that mean? What does it mean to gain resistance to fire damage? Fire, like damage?
You take half. You take it reduces all fire damage by half.
That will be good for you right now, considering you're on fire.
Yeah.
You can also take an action to douse the fire.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right. So, help me out because I'm not going to fight this thing. Disengage is a thing, right?
Disengage is an action you can do. Yes.
Okay, so if I disengage, I don't get any attacks of opportunity. When I move away.
Yes, I believe that still works here.
Okay. So, I'm going to disengage and run as far as I possibly can, which is over here. Hey, guys.
30 feet. Yeah, no, they're outside of your vision currently.
Right.
They're gone. They're outside of this. So let me go ahead and move them, GM there. So you move, that far, 30 feet, and your action was to disengage. Okay, cool. So Darien and Miera, what would you like to be doing right now? You're technically like out of combat right now. You're just like in a hallway listening to Ignis be set on fire.
Darien kind of snaps out of his sheer terror. And he's just he runs back to get Ignis attempt to douse the fire and hand him a healing potion.
Sure. So you can do one of those things.
Okay.
You can take your action to help him douse the fire out, right?
Yeah,
so I'm trying to pat him down.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So so Darien comes running back. Move you back to the token layer here. So you come running back to him, and you douse the fire for him. So that's your move and your action currently.
Yes.
Okay. Miera, what would you like to be doing?
So the split pathway that we had, there's one to the right and there's one to the left. It's like a fork in the road.
In the secret passageways, yes.
Yeah.
That's how that would work.
Okay. So I'm kind of just gonna go around there with Balmiar and like curve the edge and just kind of.
So you're gonna attempt to go back in the secret passageway. Did you guys close the secret passageway on the way out, or did you leave it open?
I'm sorry. I think I'm confused as to how far back we where. I guess what the layout of the hallway was that we came from, essentially.
Okay, so where you're in right now looks to be like a crossroads, right? And in front of you behind you now is where the forge is. To your right is a hallway. To your left is a hallway. And in front of you is the hallway that you guys came out of because you exited the wall of that hallway.
Right.
Right?
Right. So I'm just gonna hug the corner of one of the other hallways that are there.
Sure.
Just kind of like get away out of sight, out of his line of sight of.
Yeah, sure. So you duck down to the right hallway or something like that, and kind of like wait and like look backwards and see if you can see your friends or whatever.
Yeah, make sure that they're coming in. Bring them this way.
Sure. Okay. It is now the fire elemental's turn. Fire elemental is really, really quick, but it sees you retreating, and you have exited that. I think it just moves backwards. It goes back into its spot in the lava here, and you watch as it like sits and like looks at you, as you're being patted down by Darien, the fire sizzling out, the large the primordial in front of you, just burning anger and flame. But yeah, it seemed to just move back and sit in the lava. Ignas, what do you do?
Okay, so since I've backed away, I'm gonna actually wait, let me see. I just want to see if I can see here. I'm gonna go back here and is like, I guess, post a watch alongside Darien and drink a healing potion.
So you take an action to drink the healing potion, but you're kind of like staying inside here.
Yep. I'm gonna watch it. Since it retreated, I want to see what it's gonna do. Where's my healing potion?
Healing?
Where's my
2d4 plus 2.
What? Sorry. No, my healing drought.
Oh yeah, your magical one. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
One.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to waste the actual healing potion yet.
Okay.
Even though it's technically worse, it was what? 1d4?
What? What did you say?
The magical healing potion, or the other healing potion, was what? 1d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2.
Oh. It's about it's technically worse, but also a little bit more consistent, I guess.
And not just once a day.
Yes, but isn't it only just one time?
Yeah, but you could take 3 of them in a row if you felt like it.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, 14.
If you wanted to bogart the heal juice.
Yeah, man.
Which I might have to. I just got molested by a lava elemental.
Yeah, it's fine.
It cradled you a little bit. It's fine.
Someone quote that, please. I got molested by a fire demon.
Okay, sure. So Ignas, that's your turn. Darien, what would you like to do? At this point, combat's nothing's happening here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the play here is.
Sure.
I think that thing might be protecting the ruby.
Well, yeah.
No, really?
Your sarcasm is noted. Right? As opposed to a death trap that kills anyone who tries to kill the ruby, it's just going to sit here and protect the ruby.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Well, I'm thinking.
It's Darien's turn currently.
Oh.
Unless if you guys exit this room, like combat's over and you can just do whatever. So that's up to you.
I think we should exit the room and kind of like weigh our options and figure this shit out.
Yeah, regroup a little bit.
Yeah,
I think we should figure out if that ruby is even necessary, because if it is the key to the vault, then we need to somehow get it. And if it isn't, then we never speak of this again. Except in my nightmares.
Remember that time where Ignas caught fire? Because he got hugged by a lava demon?
Yeah, I know what Rob's thinking right away now. How far can I move in and run away with the ruby?
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
Don't. Not yet. Not yet.
We should regroup.
We need to regroup. Because then we can go in with a plan of action now that we know what's ahead.
More to the point, we don't know if that thing is magically stuck there forever and we can't just pull it away.
Yeah.
Or if we pull it away, the whole thing caves down on us.
The possibilities are endless.
Only
or the fire
DM
elemental
knows.
molests you again.
Yeah. Only God knows.
Only God knows. And he's sitting right there with a big old smirk on his face.
I loved Rob's reaction to seeing him. Like when he got sight back, I was like, oh yeah, that's
oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh, no.
That makes me happy. Yeah.
It makes you happy.
All right, yeah, let's get the heck out of here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you guys exit the room.
Yes,
so turn order's gone, combat's over. So that's all well and good. So what would you guys like to do?
I vote we go back to the what's it called, where the paths split, and see what we can see where the vault is.
Sure. So like I said, you're basically in the outer hallways right now, right? So when you exit the forge area, there's a hallway to the right, a hallway to the left, and the one that you guys came from, where you exited through the wall from the secret passage, right?
And
so are you guys going back into the secret passage? Or because that's where the split was. The split was within the secret passage. Or are you going to try to like find it from out here?
Oh, I think we go back to where we were. I mean, I don't want to get lost again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys go back into the secret passage. I don't know if it was still open or not, but you figure it out and you close it behind you and you go back to the fork in the passage and you go to the left. And similarly, about 3 minutes later, you kind of go down and down and down, and you make an investigation check real quick, see if you can find that little clasp. Shouldn't be too hard. You know where it is from the previous store.
Yep. All right, so we can open that sucker up.
Yeah, and so you hit the closet, and it kind of does the same thing. Goes in, and you walk out into a hallway. It seems to be it's smaller. It's maybe about 15 feet high, rather than the 25 to 30 of the hallways that you've been in previously outside here. It's less grand. There's less grandeur, less pomp and circumstance, and whatever. But you kind of look around. You look to your left, and you look to your right, and you don't really see a whole lot. But what you do see to the left of you looks like something that would there's two stone columns and an archway, and further down it looks like probably the direction you should be going. There's a statues over there, and it looks promising.
All right. I suggest stealth, just in case
Sure.
there's something waiting for us.
Go ahead and make some stealth checks for me, guys.
I will try.
Darien at the disadvantage.
Guess I gotta douse my torch.
I believe in you.
Well, Darien, you're at disadvantage with the armor anyways. So the torch is... The thing is, the torch makes it more easy for anyone else to see you, but you're going to be loud regardless. You're at disadvantage regardless.
Whee!
10's not bad. Okay.
God damn, just what to say.
Ignis?
All right.
Yep.
It's going to be my turn to...
20. Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys are... I mean, it's like a collective stealth roll, right? So you take the average of these things.
Jeez, I rolled this.
That would be an average of about 13 and a bit.
Thank you, though. So you guys proceed kind of down this hallway, and Ignis, you hear some grumbling ahead, and you see some torchlight.
I'll just hold up a hand for people once we see the torchlight.
Sure. You want to try to see if you can figure out what it is?
Sure.
Make a perception check for me, please.
Hasn't been terrible or anything. Oh.
Yeah, it sounds like two orcs having a conversation. And they seem to be down this hallway that you're walking.
Why didn't I take that orc language extension course? My God.
It's so similar to Goblin. Why didn't I take it? Yeah, so
I had to take Groot.
Walk down that direction. You guys are still you're walking quietly. But do you want to proceed? There seems to be there's two orcs down there.
Two of them. We mount a surprise attack.
You can certainly try.
Do we recognize any of them?
You don't see them yet. It seems like you can see some light, and now you can hear the sound now that Ignis has pointed it out to you. They're kind of like around a corner of the hallway here.
I think we should jump them.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe, Nara, can you take a shot?
Take the shot!
You said we can't see them yet? We just kind of hear them?
Skull.
Yeah, you can hear them, and now that Ignis has pointed it out to you, you can, if you're very quiet, you can hear like them talking to each other, as well as like some firelight around the bend ahead of you.
Gotcha. I'm gonna draw my bow and arrow and just kind of move a little bit closer, slowly and quietly, as to potentially see who it is. Because Jirok left us, and if he's speaking Orcish with someone else, I don't want to attack Jirok if we don't have to. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, so you're gonna stealth up to the corner?
Yeah.
Sure. Actually, you know what? Because you're leaving the party behind and you're doing this on your own, it's no longer a group stealth check. Go ahead and roll one for yourself.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you get all the way up to the corner and you kind of peek around, and there's a brazier lit, and there's two orcs just kind of like posted up, just kind of hanging out. One's holding a javelin, the other one's got an axe, kind of just like leaned up against the wall. They're just chatting with each other. They seem to be guarding a door. They're about 20 feet away from you around this corner here.
Can I see anything out of the ordinary with the door? Like what the keys
perception check
look like? Okay.
So the door itself it's covered in, it has dwarven runes on the archway above it.
Gotcha.
Right? So it's something. The brazier outside seems pretty ornate. It looks like it's built into the stone there. It's not something that the orcs had placed there. But the door itself looks relatively normal. But you're not, I mean, orcs are guarding it.
Yeah.
But there is some dwarven runes above it. Just, you don't speak Dwarvish, so.
Right. I'm gonna head over back to the party and
take the shot.
Hold on, I'm gonna head over back to the party and just relay the information of what's ahead. And say all right, so there are two orcs ahead in front of a large door that has dwarven runes above it. We could either try to lure them over this way with a sneak attack so that we have, or we could try to jump them ourselves. Or we could even see if we could try activating whatever runes are above if they're traps, and maybe see if we can affect them that way.
Did you hit one in the brain with an arrow?
I can most certainly try.
What you do is Skyrim and you shoot one of them and then you just hide long enough until they're like,
the alert meter goes down and it doesn't matter anymore.
Must have been the wind.
The wind.
Did you hear that?
Arrow sticking out of his eye.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind.
Love it.
If that's what you want to try, then I can do that for you.
Yeah, I think our chances fare much better with two orcs than a fire demon.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just me, you know?
That's just Darien spouting some knowledge.
Like throwing it down, dude.
Although, just for future reference, if we get a large group of orcs, how hard would it be to lure them to that forge and feed them to the fire demon?
Depends on how fast
like
we can run.
the way you think.
Sure.
Yeah, try and shoot one in the brain. We'll be right behind you.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna kind of approach back. Do I have to roll for stealth again to?
Yep, because you're going back and forth.
Cool.
The first one's for the first time.
Cool.
Second one is this time.
Out of the die. 13.
Okay. As you approach the corner this time, you hear the talking stop. The orc says, and then they kind of stop and pause. And then he says something, and you hear some like muttering, and you can hear that something scrape along the floor. And as you approach the side and you look around, you meet eye to eye with one of the orcs. and he has definitely noticed you.
Yay.
Is he like right there, or is he still a little ways
about
down?
20 feet off?
Okay.
But you like peek around the corner this time, and he's like looking right at you. He's holding a javelin. The other one with the axe has readied his already. You glance back and forth. Yeah, they know you're there.
Cool. I'm gonna take a shot.
Take the shot.
I think because of that, I think we're gonna have you here. We're gonna go to your. Let me do it this way. Let me pull this out of roll 20. I think we're gonna have it be initiative order for this.
Okay.
Just to keep it fair. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one here. We'll go to map scene here, and your tokens are available there. Let me go ahead and pull 2 of these guys out. This is non-representative of the area, but we're going to just utilize this for turns. Okay.
So just roll initiative.
Yep. So go ahead and just roll initiative. They're going to roll against you.
All right.
All of you can go ahead and do it.
No.
Oh boy.
Yep. Darren, you can go ahead and roll as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So the orc with the javelin at his side sees you poke your head around and is just going to throw the javelin at you. So he throws the javelin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good.
You're in like most cover, so you have +5 to your AC. Does a 25 beat that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'd be at 21 with that.
So this javelin, you poke your head around. He sees you. He's already throwing by the time you're readying your arrow, and it like takes you like in the chest and like neck area. It does not feel good.
Oh no.
So it deals you 9 piercing damage, and it's a very wait. Why is that? Oh, it's +0. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what's happening here. We're okay. That's fine. Yeah. So
Back
it's
to where I was. 19
yeah.
hit points.
Yeah. 6 + 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Time to kill stuff.
So yeah, that orc does that, and he throws it at you and then runs towards you. So
good.
he closes distance there and comes around the corner, and that's when he notices that there's other people behind it, and he yells over to his friend at the end of his turn, and he's like readies another javelin. He pulls another one out of like his satchel at his side. Ignis, it is now your turn. So basically setting up the scene here, if we can do that. We got this orc here. He's come around the corner. He's face to face with Miera. You guys are like down this way, about this far. So
okay. All right, since these 2 orcs are fairly separated at this point, I'm gonna I guess move up a little bit. I mean, it's hard to tell distance. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Working on it.
Grid.
Yeah, let me draw the grid real quick.
Expert map making skills.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's the grid.
Yeah, so that's kind of the location that you guys are at.
Oh,
wow. And I'll fix
nice.
the like this and then this.
All right.
And then yep, you're there. Darien, you're here. Balmir's there.
Okay,
there
so I'll move up a little bit and just immediately throw an acid vial at the orc.
Yeah, sure. What is it? What's the range on that? Like 25?
No, it's further
30
than
feet?
that. Yeah, it's 30 feet.
All right, and he has to make a dex save. So go ahead and roll that into the chat.
All right.
Cool.
All right, dex save of 14, or he takes 12 damage. Wowee. Oh yeah. All right, so he comes around the corner, notices, yells at his friend, and you throw the vial of acid on him, and he like kind of sidesteps it, and it clatters and like sprays off behind him.
We should recruit this guy. He can be our new Jirok.
It's a little late for that now.
I was gonna say this dude is crit twice in a row. I'm a little worried.
You're a little worried.
You're worried.
It was just
Darren's gonna try to move over and trip.
I didn't think they would wipe the whole party.
That's uncalled for. I've never done such a thing.
I've never tripped.
I have never been downed by an inanimate object.
Never.
Inanimate object.
Never. Especially not like twice.
No.
So
not of the fungal variety.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well, that's my turn.
Yeah. So Orc 2, he's wielding a great axe, and he yeah, so he can get up here. I think his move is 30 feet. Yeah, and he sees Miera here, who's got a javelin essentially sticking out of her, and then he notices this over here. He has an ability called aggressive, which means he can move twice his speed.
Good.
On a turn moving towards an enemy, and he sees where the acid came from. His orc friend yelling at him, who's readying another javelin, and this guy comes out and he's just gonna swing his great axe at you.
Oh no!
Save me!
17, I believe, hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deals 7 slashing. So he comes across, swinging from up high, and slashes down at you. You dodge a little bit out of the way, but he still scores a big gash across you.
Does Miera get to take an attack of opportunity since he moved away?
Yeah, he moved past you. So yeah, Miera, you could try to slice out at him.
All right. So it's just a regular
Yeah, it's just a regular attack with one of your melee weapons.
Cool.
But you had your bow out and ready?
I had my bow out, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you had me roll initiative, so I didn't actually get the opportunity to really do anything.
Yeah, you haven't had the opportunity to do anything. This has all happened faster than you were able to get ready.
So I can just grab one of my items, attack out with the attack of opportunity, right? Like one of the weapons, or because I haven't.
I'd say you,
because I tried to get my
part
bow.
of no. It's readying like a weapon from your sheath. Like if you drop the bow and pulled a weapon, is part of your movement.
I don't even know if I fully pulled out the bow because it happened so quick. Because I peeked out the corner and we met eye to eye, and before I could even draw my bow, he threw the javelin.
Turn quickly and thwack him in the side of the head with the javelin that's sticking out.
I mean, I don't know. It's your call here, because
I think you'd be able to get one of your weapons out, like your short sword or something.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah. So you'd be able to like get a short sword attack on him. I think as he runs by.
I'll do short sword.
Yeah.
attack.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Hey, all right.
Cool.
Yeah, and you deal 7 piercing damage to him. So as he runs by, you like score a slice on him as he's running with his axe raised. It's like goes down his arm and his side, and it's a pretty heavy blow too. But yeah, it doesn't down him, but he's definitely hurting from it.
And a javelin's in my neck too. That's pretty.
Yeah, yeah, you got that kind of hanging out there. Miera, it's now actually your turn. So what would you like to do?
There's no like lasting effect right now to like combat if that javelin's in my just still there, right?
No, what I would say is like during your turn, it's like, oh, while you're getting your weapons ready, you just like throw it off and like,
cool.
Get ready. It's like part of your move. You're not
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna leave you with a javelin in your neck the whole time.
Yeah, no,
it totally won't bleed out from removing that.
Yeah, it's now just doing this, like with blood, but it's no longer in your neck. So
turn and get it in the orc's face, get him blood.
yeah, totally, totally.
So all right, so I'm kind of just gonna do my best to like do a little whistle, have Balmiar come from here. Oops, that's the wrong object here. Let me get the select tool. Go down here. Actually, wait, no, because now that the enemy's there, he can't run past the enemies. Let's measure this out. So from here, it's 20.
It totally works.
And Balmiar himself can move up to 50. So I just let me do my math really quick. So that's to get over here would be 20. 45 feet. Hey! All right, cool. So yeah, Balmiar's gonna do a bit of a pounds.
So it's 20 and then 5.
And then
25,
another 20.
And then another 20. Yep, 45 feet.
45 feet. So boom. To like over here.
Like on top of him, essentially. I can't see him right now, but I'm assuming that's what you just did.
Yeah.
As he runs past the one with the great axe, swings out to try to score a hit on him.
All right. What's he got?
He rolls a 19. Believe that hits.
14, yeah.
9 slashing damage. So he comes down and across, and then as he sees the panther run by, he continues his swing across and swings at the panther. So Balmiar attempts a pounce here, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you go ahead and put that in the chat so I can read it?
Pounce.
I think I remember what it is, but I want to read the exact wording.
Yeah. It says
something makes an enemy prone.
It's not letting me click it, so I could just copy paste it. So it says word for word.
Panther moves 20 feet straight forward and then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn. Target must succeed a DC 12 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. So make a claw attack.
Cool. And Kara.
Oh yeah, definitely hits. So the panther comes flying over Miera after taking a hit on the side here. It was 9 health that was lost there, so that's.
Yeah. Oh, did I not do that? Okay.
Flies over Miera, and I'm just gonna put him up here, but he's on top of this orc and crashes into him. The orc is gonna try to make a strength save here to see if he can shrug off the. Yeah, so he takes the claw essentially to the chest here and then shoves him off. So you can go ahead and deal damage for that claw attack, though.
Cool.
Click claw.
Yeah,
yep.
there we
So
go.
6 damage. Yeah, so the claws sink deep into the orc, but he's able to shove off the panther to the side, not getting knocked prone.
Sadness. That would have been great.
I don't think you have any bonus actions to
Nope,
use here,
not
right?
yet.
Okay, Darien, it is now your turn, buddy.
Yay, hero.
Welcome to the fight.
And
Hero
I'm also
time.
here.
And I also did stuff.
Oh no!
Runs
up.
Oh no!
no.
All right, I'm gonna run up to this fucker who's step into my Iggy boy.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna swing at him.
Swing.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely hits. Yeah. You're one-handed, right? So 11 damage. Yeah. So you swing out and you like cleave through this guy's clavicle, and he just falls over dead instantaneously.
You're welcome for that. Basically, it says.
That boy is down.
Yeah.
That boy is down.
And now I believe that was. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I guess 15 feet
15?
there.
Yep. So you have another 15 feet of move
So
if
I'm
you'd
gonna
like.
run up rather.
Perfect.
And that'll
All
be my
right.
turn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
that orc's dead. Ignis, what would you like to do?
Okay. I'm actually weighing my options, and I just need to real quick look at where's the thing? There we go. Smoke stick. What does that do again? 10-foot radius around the target's head. Blocks vision, including dark vision. Stick and smoke persist. So if I throw a smoke stick at this guy, would he then basically have to make any attack rolls at disadvantage?
Yes, as would everyone in the radius of it. And
Okay.
the way that, yeah, that's how that would work.
Okay, so 10 feet, 10 feet. All right. Oh, that's also 10 feet? Dang it.
Yep. It's a lot.
But that isn't.
Yeah, Balnor
right.
just can move into the next slot and still be in combat next turn if he needs to.
Or actually, he can circle around. If you look where I'm doing the thing, just circle around him and get out of it. And then Darien can just walk up
right there.
just
That's
right
true.
forward. Yeah. Okay, so wait a sec. Let me just double check what the range of my throw is. It range 30 feet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Okay, so I'll move up here, and I will throw a smoke stick in this square here, and it should blanket this whole area in smoke.
Yeah. So Ignis throws this smoke stick here, and he watches it pours out like this thick black smoke, and it obscures this whole area. Balmiar and the orc in front of you, you don't see them anymore. So they're all blanketed in this smoke here. Yeah, okay. So, orc, what are you gonna do? Let's roll a 1d20 and find out.
Oh no.
14. Okay. So what he's gonna do, he sees that the situation has gone south relatively quickly. So what he's gonna try to do.
Not much you can. Is this a door this way?
I think he runs. Well, yeah, because the roll that he had makes him too smart. So, so he's gonna run backwards, I think. 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, he runs through the door. It's seemingly unlocked. Was that 30? And he just barrels through it. But you guys you'll get a chance of attack of opportunity here.
Hey, so. Both me and Balmier?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So this is the door area here.
Well,
no. Just wait. Balmier gets free attacks of opportunity, doesn't he? Like it doesn't count for anything. Yeah, I think so. He gets reactions.
I mean, I have no idea. At that point, I'm not sure.
Okay, hang on. It's in your character sheet. Under Ranger Companion. Obeys commands. Takes turn on your initiative. That doesn't have an action unless you command it. Focus on protecting. Never requires a command to use its reaction, such as when it's making an attack of opportunity. Yep. So he gets his attack of opportunity.
Awesome.
So you both get to make that attack. The orc has attempted to run through the door down here. This area here is where the brazier was.
All right, so these are both our attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
Do we hit at all?
I think the 15 does. What happened to my character sheet for this guy? Yeah, the 15 does. Cool. So you slash out with your short sword. Deal it 6 damage. Like you rake it down its back. It howls out in pain, but it's still able to make its way down, and it blows through the door opening there, and yeah, it kind of fades from sight a little bit. Harder to see here. Okay, and that's his turn. He's running that direction.
We should probably stop him.
Miera, it's your turn.
Yeah. Can I see him right now or no?
Do what?
Can I see him right now?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, not from this corner because I still have to move.
Right, and there's a smoke screen in front of you.
Yeah.
You really can't. To be fair, yeah, Balmier should have been at disadvantage anyways, but that's fine. It didn't hit.
Yeah, it was at disadvantage, I think, on that strike anyway. Yeah, the 8 was the lower too.
You can just move through the smoke.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move. I think I'm gonna move.
You know where I'm going?
Like right here.
That was where I was going. But okay.
Oh, is that where you're going?
No, don't worry.
Miara's turn, and then there's Darien.
No.
No, don't worry. I can manage this.
Cool.
Okay.
So can I see him from this?
The door is open, and yeah, you can see him running away.
So as I'm running, I drop my sword, and pull out my bow again.
Sure.
Is that my full action, or can I take the shot?
I don't know if readying a bow is a full action. That's a question. Let's see.
Because I know I've dropped the bow for the swords, but I've never tried to do the opposite yet.
Sure. Turn, surprise, initiative. Actions in combat. Ready, search. No, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, you dropped your sword. Go ahead. You readied your bow. You can do it.
20.
Yeah, that turns out that hits. That's a big old hit there, boys.
Piercing.
Woo, with the fat 3 piercing. I love it. As you slash down and he runs away and you come tearing around the corner, readying your shot, you let it fly and it hits him right between the shoulder blades and he topples over dead. Dead. Arrow sticking straight up out of his back.
Finally, she took the shot.
The shot!
And now she's got her confidence back and she can win nationals.
I'm still like bleeding profusely from my neck. I did it, guys.
I love it. Oh my god. All right, cool guys. Oh, I just noticed that the viewers couldn't see where the orc guy went. There he is. Yeah, so he ran through that door there and has collapsed over. And you're out of combat now, officially done. There's nothing else going on here. What would you like to do?
Have my weapons back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Let's get that other one back in here.
You want to like go drag the body back in to where you're at?
Oh, sure. We should be neat with our corpses.
Sure.
Make a nice pile. Fire. Just don't leave them strewn around like some kind of savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm also open to throwing them into the fire.
I agree with that.
Do we want to take them as sacrifices to our little lava friend in the other room?
I will have no part in this.
These are the worst.
He's not a god. It's not like I almost got molested by Gozer.
True. So yeah, you drag the corpse back in. You have the two corpses together. Okay. As you go through to grab the corpse from through where the door was on the other side, you can see at the end of that hallway a large stone and metal inlay at the very end. It's about 50 feet down.
Okay. It looks like a vault door, maybe. All right. Can I search the orcs real quick? And actually, you know what? I'm also going to take that other guy's great axe.
Sure. Put that great axe in your pocket.
Say.
Yeah, sure.
I'm the militia.
Do you want that javelin too that's over there? As I like take my healing potion to like try to help myself.
Oh, sure. You're gonna are you taking one of Ignas's healing potions or yours?
The one that was given to me.
Okay, so that's 2d4 plus 2.
So just roll 2d4 plus 2.
Yep, /roll 2d4 plus 2. You find on the orcs 8 silver pieces and 7 gold pieces.
8.
Okay.
They have hide armor on, like the other ones you've had before, and you took the axe. Yep. So you
and how many javelins?
27.
He had 3 more.
All right, I'll throw 3 more on there.
Yep. So you have 3 javelins now.
Yeah, still have plenty of space.
Sure.
I will outfit a battalion. Damn it.
You can definitely try, man. I like that idea.
Every orc we kill just makes us stronger.
Okay. Yeah. What would you like to do? You've looted the bodies. The brazier still is lit and burning happily next to the door that the other orc ran through. About 50 feet down that hallway. Like wall sconces are lit down this one, and they run all the way down to the end, where there's this large inlay.
And just to be clear,
silver and stone that you can kind of see.
And just to be clear, there's no one else in that hallway.
No, not that you can see.
Okay.
It just seems to be a 50-foot long hallway that ends.
All right. I think I'm definitely gonna check for like any other dwarven runes or anything, any kind of traps.
Well, so what you're gonna inspect for traps here?
Yeah, because I honestly think that if they weren't going in that room, either their orders were to guard this passage or there's something down there that's going to kill them.
Sure. So my question is, are you walking? You're going to start walking down the hallway and start taking a look. You're not looking like outside.
No, I'll stop. No, I'll stop by the door and look first. I'm not gonna set foot in that hallway until I know the first step is safe.
Sure. Make an investigation for around the door area.
Because I'm paranoid.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So about 10 feet on either side of this door, there doesn't seem to be any issues. You don't find anything. Doesn't seem to be any pressure plates or traps or anything out of the ordinary for some stone flooring and walls.
Okay. Looks clear, or at least the entryway is. I'll keep an eye out as we go in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cool. So you guys start walking in. Again, it's about 50 feet down.
I am checking for traps as we go.
Well, as you're walking, your perception is high enough that you can notice a lot of things. So you do notice as you keep walking that some of these squares don't look safe. They don't look like the other blocks on the ground. So they could be a problem.
Oh no.
Okay. Are they just randomly placed along the hallway?
Yeah, you haven't there. You don't. Let's have you make a. I think this might be a straight intelligence check.
Okay.
Go ahead and make one of those.
Oh wait, that's a saving throw. All right, intelligence.
Yeah, just straight intelligence check for me. 14. You can't seem to determine if there's any pattern to this or not, but you've noticed now that you're about 25 feet down the hallway, about halfway. In front of you, there is very definitely one of these the floor plates is different than the others.
Okay. Is there any kind of... What I want to do is tell everyone else, hey, don't step on anything that looks like that. Is there any kind of indicating mark that would be like, oh, this is a trap spot?
Oh, I think that would involve an investigation on your part. Right now, you've just noticed that it's different.
Okay, then I will investigate. Come on, man.
There's no... You notice it's a slightly different color, but you've only noticed this one plate so far. So you don't really know... You can't determine there's a pattern with these. You don't know. You just know that this one in the center of this is not safe. You have about 5 feet of walking room on either side that looks... I mean, they look like the rest of the blocks from before. But you haven't... Nothing of what you've done so far has been able to, piece it together for you.
All right. I'm just going to point that out to everyone else. That spot there, don't step on that.
Yeah,
we go around it. And actually, from now on, just let me take point. I will try and point out the spots that don't look right, because I haven't really figured out if there's any kind of indication of where these things are yet. They just doesn't look right.
Yeah, sure. So you walk around this one, you take another 5 feet forward, and you notice that there's two this time that are kind of offset from each other, and you kind of try to maneuver around those. And basically, you're noticing these things with your perception. You're noticing that they just don't look right. So you're more than welcome to stop at any single one of these and investigate on them. But right now, I'm just saying that as you walk forward, if it looks different, you're avoiding it.
All right, then I am in fact going to stop and try and inspect one. Darien, let me get your eyes in here. Does this look off in some way to you?
Sure. So you want him to help you with it?
Looking.
Excellent. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation with advantage there. Wow,
there we go.
With your powers combined, you figure out that there seems to be weird. You figure out what's different about these plates that you've been noticing. That they're not cornered correctly. They seem to have weird sloping corners that the rest of these things don't have. It looks like they could be depressed down into the floor rather than sitting on top like the rest of the stone floor is.
Right.
So you kind of figured out what they look like. And you're noticing now, they're scattered, and you haven't put together if there's a pattern or not to it. You just noticed that this is what it is. And between the two of you, you figured out, these are pressure plates, probably trapped.
Okay, so if you see anything that looks... the corners are off, it's slightly sloped, that's bad. Don't step on that.
Yeah.
Acknowledged.
So, the thing with that is, Ignas, you can notice these things relatively easily, but it would take a perception check from everyone else to know.
I think then I'll just be everybody's guide.
Okay, so you want to kind of handhold everyone to move around. Okay,
follow my steps exactly.
Probably
that
pretty
sort
safe.
Of thing.
Yeah, that's probably pretty safe.
And I check to see if there's a pattern.
I think you already did that with that intelligence check. And I don't think there's anything has really changed yet for you to figure that out, because you've already noticed that there's differences. You know what the difference is now, but it doesn't necessarily lead you to believe that there's a pattern with the placement.
All right, let's take our very careful way down the hall of doom.
Sure. Yeah. So you pick your way down. And Ignis, you start noticing now, again, because your stupid perception is way too high. Every once in a while, like above wherever one of these little pressure plates are, there's small little openings in the ceiling, little holes. And there's like maybe 6 of them above every pressure plate.
Huh. I wonder if those are arrow traps or gas traps.
So you can kind of like maneuver around them.
Yeah.
So you get closer to the door, and it looks clear. You approach the door. You've kind of maneuvered your way through it. It's a little bit cramped over here because there's like pressure plates like right behind you, but all 4 of you kind of like cram up against the wall here on the end to see what's going on. So what you see there, basically it's this like, it's a relief set into the wall that's like etched in silver, and it looks like it hasn't been touched. So like a lot of the statues you've seen around this stronghold have been taken down because they were made of silver, but it looks like this silver inlay hasn't been touched. So it looks like no one's been able to reach it or vandalize it or anything like that. So what you see basically is like an inlay and a mural of a dwarf at an anvil swinging a hammer, kind of in this regalia, and a lot of dwarven runes written and inlaid in silver around it. And in the depiction of the anvil, there's an indentation, relatively large, but it looks like something might go there.
Who else thinks that a ruby might go here?
Hands.
Like...
Yeah.
Can we like verify that?
Make an investigation check. You can try to figure out what the shape is here.
Assist.
Yeah, go for it.
There's my 25.
25.
There's a 25.
You know what? A double-fisted size, about diamond-shaped ruby probably would slot in here really nicely.
Okay, I guess we know what we gotta do now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
That investigation as well allows you to, because it's so high, the mural and the wall itself looks like it's just set in there. It doesn't look like a door at all. But this investigation has allowed you to like kind of like find the seams underneath some of the inlays, so you can see where the door itself would open from the center and maybe like slide outwards or something like that. So you've kind of figured out that yes, this is a door.
Okay. All right. And I'll certainly convey that to the party. We need to go back.
I thought so.
Oh god.
Yeah. So you guys, do you leave the door? You just want to you want to try anything else with it?
I mean, is there anything? Okay, you know what? I will speak. Wait, Miera, speak the Elvish word for friend.
Friend.
A bunch of rocks fall on you and you all die. No, nothing happens.
Okay. All right. There's no
friendly rocks. They're coming to hug you. That's all it is.
Open sesame.
Weirdly, that's actually Elvish. So, but no, it doesn't do anything.
Are there any other mechanisms that can be manipulated?
That investigation check would have told you. It doesn't look like there's anything on this door or this mural. It doesn't look like there's anything that can be maneuvered on it. There's a lot. It looks like there's a bunch of dwarven runes written like in columns on the walls here, but you don't know what they say. But it's extensive, and it's all written in like silver metal inlay.
Here's a thought. What if we go back to, what was his name again?
Odeg?
Odeg, thank you.
The dwarf, yeah.
I knew it had an O, a D, an E, and a G in there, but I didn't know the order.
Sure.
What if we try and find our way back to Odeg and ask him why exactly there's a fire elemental in the forge, and how we can ask it very nicely to borrow that ruby?
That's an idea.
We can try.
And in turn, if we ever have to fight it, remember there are water basins in the area. Probably try to solidify creature.
Yeah. No, it's a shame because I'm trying to find it. Yes. I had blueprints for something that would produce water endlessly. It was a decanter. But I left them in my lab, so I couldn't possibly make it.
Forgot that you had that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
10th level.
Yeah, that would have been useful. Yeah, that would have been useful.
Really cool.
That would have been useful.
He has
maybe
blood
later
on his back.
Yeah, maybe later.
Just gotta come back in like 6 levels. I'll have made it. I actually
a lot of adventuring is gonna go on between then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By that point, we can actually fight a lava elemental. But no, I think. Oh, by the way, this is also a sign of how much Ignas has grown. He's thought about actually going and asking for help rather than being like, let's just walk in and kill it.
I'm so proud. Yeah. So what would you guys like to do? You're kind of like all pressed up against this wall here, trying to avoid these pressure plates that are in the ground.
I mean, step 1, we should just go back.
You just want to go back. All right. Yep. So knowing the location of most of these now and having picked a safe way up to it, you walk back out and you see the 2 orc corpses just hanging out, laying there on the ground, and you continue back to the secret passage that you walked out of.
Yep.
Just gonna leave the bodies. Okay.
Well, that's something to write with. I would write like an insulting message on their faces.
I would be worried that any of those shamans could come back and bring them back to life.
Oh, how might we prevent that?
If we cremate the bodies, we could certainly try. There would be nothing left to bring back.
You want to drag them over to the fire elemental and give it lunch?
We could do that.
How far of a walk is that with bodies?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How big is that fire that's there? That was there
a dwarven, like a dwarven-sized passageway. You were dragging a lot of them.
I don't think that's.
How big was the
How big's the fire?
Outside the door.
I mean, not super big. It's like a small brazier like this, just to like light stuff. It's like a small campfire. Size.
What we could do instead, because there was like multiple passages, but we came through one that Odeg knew about. We could just leave the bodies in one of those passages away from where the shamans are, and then they'd be like, well, where are those idiots?
That's true.
Smoke break. I swear to God, I'm going to outlaw cigarettes in this company.
You can certainly
form an Ignis.
Form an Ignis. I know. Right? Jeez. So yeah, you guys want to like take the bodies towards into the passageway and just kind of leave them there?
Yeah, I think that's
you can do that. Yeah, it's not very far. I mean, it's maybe about 30 to 40 feet from where you fought them. So that's easily.
I mean, another alternative would have been to just drag him into the Doom hallway and just leave him there and just be like, "Oh, they died to a trap."
Rooms that were already there. See what happened.
You can certainly try.
The thing is, I would be very worried about sound traps
off.
Well, no, even if we intentionally do that, I'd be worried about sound traps with AoE effects or poison gas traps.
Sure.
So I'd like to not try that. I think just leaving them where no one will find them is much more polite.
I agree.
Okay, sure. So you drag them into the hallway there, and you take the 5-minute walk back to where it splits off, and then you walk the next 5 minutes over to the forge again, or are you going to go back to Odeg?
I think we should go back to Odeg and actually ask him what the heck.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Darien,
I think
your
that's
thoughts?
Probably a good idea.
As always, I go where you go.
Darien's not much of an idea guy.
No, you're the planner.
That's just an excuse to avoid taking responsibility.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's The command structure here is a little weird, but yeah, it works. So you guys you take the passage all the way back to where Odeg had walked through the fireplace there, and so you exit through the fireplace.
I would listen first to see if anyone's in there.
Sure, make a perception check. At disadvantage because it's through a wall.
Someone helped me with that. Would it go back to normal?
Yeah, it'd be a regular roll.
Anybody else? Hey,
yeah,
Miera,
let's go.
You have big ears. Help me out.
You have big ears.
First off, I take offense to that, but yes, I will.
It's a factual statement. What?
Wow. Jeez, guys.
I don't point out your height, gnome.
Oh, got him.
Oh, the racism is strong in this game.
Perception check, please.
Perception check.
Do it.
There we go. That's not bad.
13. You don't seem to hear anything.
Okay, let's go out
through the wall. Yep.
Yes,
So
sir.
it all swings sideways. Very classic like secret passageway in a mansion style with the fireplace, and you kind of walk out the back of it, and you close it behind you, and you're in one of those small houses that the dwarven miners used to live in.
All right. I would say we definitely check to see if there are any other orc patrols going down the street before we head out. But otherwise, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, make a perception check. Like crack the door open and make a perception check.
Hey, wait, who has better eyes? No, not the human.
I'll make
it's constant racial digs.
It is, yeah. It is just. This is literally just racism.
I'll take
the whole game.
If you want to help me, I'll take a look.
I'm gonna pick you up and throw you at the elemental.
Yeah, the next time. Darien's new goal is no longer protect Ignis. It is throw Ignis under bus.
Throw him into the lava pit with the forge monster.
Yeah. Monsters.
All right,
hungry.
fine. This time, I'll help.
I'll make the perception check.
Sure, go for it.
Let's do it on advantage. There we go. 15.
No, you don't hear or see anything. It seems to be pretty continually deserted right now. Not like in your general vicinity. You don't see or hear anything.
All right. Let's go. Let's get back to where Odeg is.
Sure. So you walk to the statue, the remains of the statue that Odeg had done the secret door for you. What do you do?
Wait, we're at which door? The secret door?
The possible secret door. You're literally staring at a wall right now next to a statue.
I know exactly. Wait, isn't it
the
third
exact
brick?
location?
Isn't it the third brick from the right?
For the fireplace.
Yeah.
Oh, for the step. Dang it.
Yeah. So you can try to find it. You know that it's here. You just don't know exactly where.
Investigation.
Anybody remember where it happened to be?
I do not.
Well, would you help me out a little bit?
Sure.
I love the help. It's so good.
Well, it does help me get those crit 25s.
Yeah. So this one here is actually a notch right in the center, next to the brick, and you both of you can make a mental note of this is like where this location is, and it pushes it through and opens up, and you walk on through and close it behind you. So now you're in the hallway that kind of goes in that incline upwards, where it has the slits where you can see into the marketplace area as well as where the prisoner location is. You guys, it kind of just Darien is blind as a bat and a klutz.
Darien.
I'm just getting
Darien.
Roasted.
Got him, boys. All right. Yeah. So you guys just walk on by all the way through.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we need to see any more goblins getting acid to the face.
Yeah. You walk on by and you walk all the way back to Odeg's place, and you can exit the secret passageway there, shut it behind you, and you're in the open dirt field now. Would you someone make a perception check for me, please?
Sure. Anyone want to help?
Sure, because
I don't know. I'm blind as a bat.
Paranoid.
Darien's got a big old torch in his hand that he could utilize.
I don't know, man. I'm blind.
Let's do it.
Oh, wow.
Darien.
Wow.
Oh, bet you wish you had good old Darien.
Garbage
perception
perception rolls.
Okay.
Welcome to the salt factory, everybody.
You in this wide open expanse, it seems the darkness clings to the corners much more readily than you would expected, and you don't see anything.
Hello, darkness, my
Well, obviously nothing's wrong, and Odeg will clearly be alive when we get in there.
So you walk all the way across, about 200 feet across to the other side. As you're walking, Ignas, you notice footprints in the dirt that go a different direction than the ways that you guys have been going. And you also notice that there's extra sets that are peeled off from that go towards where you're walking.
Oh, gods. I think we should.
Oh, and his mic's out. It finally happened, boys.
No.
No.
I can't hear
not.
We can hear him.
Well,
I couldn't hear him at all.
He was fine for us.
Yeah, he was fine for me too.
I reloaded
hear
just
him
in
now.
case. I reloaded just in case.
I can hear him now. I couldn't hear him at all.
That was so weird.
I was like, no, we haven't had it happen.
I know.
Oh wow.
I reloaded just in case. It's not a.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
What I said was that I told everybody, hey, we might have company. Be ready to kill stuff.
As you approach the opposite side of the chamber, you notice that the stone lies open and empty. And
Okay.
I think that's where we'll stop today's session.
No!
Yeah. So that was good. So you guys have made it back to where Odeg should be. Might be. Could be.
We need to give him his hammer.
In pieces.
And
he's everywhere.
So thanks guys for joining us today on this episode of DieFall. I believe we decided it was episode 16.
Sure.
Yikes.
I
don't
Fire elementals, traps, vault doors, old dwarves, and friends leaving. It's been a good day. It's been a really good day.
And casual racism.
Yeah, and lots of casual racism.
There's a lot in this
There's
one.
a lot of. I'm sorry, you come from a city that enslaves an entire race. Like I don't know what else to tell you.
Course.
Hey, in my defense, my character at least was not in favor of the slave trade.
True.
He was basically Thomas Jefferson.
Sure. Yeah, he just owned them. Oh God.
I don't like having.
I don't really like.
You know what? I'll have you.
I'm not gonna not participate.
Let's not discuss that. All right, so guys, let's do our shout outs today. So Rel, if you want to start us off here, bud, where can people find you?
Sure. I want to see what my overlay looks like, so I'm gonna milk this a little bit. All right. So as it says, I am Rel. I play Ignas Erdrick, Esquire, the fourth, or something I forget. I can be found at youtube.com/RelPlays. I do Let's Plays, and I also do game reviews that are concise and focused on whether or not a game is worth your money. Actually, my review of Xmorph Defense actually went live today, this very morning.
Ooh.
And I do stream myself on Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/RelPlays. And you can find me on Twitter at RelLet'sPlay.
Awesome. Thank you, Rel. Rob!
Haven't heard that name in years. I'm sorry.
You're such a dork. I love it.
What's up? I'm Bonus Stage Rob. When I'm not playing D&D and being a klutzy paladin, I'm playing various different video games on my stream and being a klutzy, I don't know, everything. You can find me at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob or on Twitter at bonusstagerob without the underscores. I do variety streams. I built a Nintendo Labo today and was a robot for like an hour. So that was neat. I'm also working on The Walking Dead and like the classic Spyro games and just a bunch of shit. So if you enjoy, me and shenanigans, you'll find them both at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Professor.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. If you want to see me and my shenanigans, Professor Saccharum, most places. And I play Miera Stonewall here on DieFall. You can find me at Twitter at prof_saccharum. You can find me on Twitch, prof_saccharum. You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Professor Saccharum, where I do a lot of Pokemon content because I'm the best Pokemon professor around. And I do some other stuff too. So there you go.
Thanks, Professor. Appreciate it. And hi, you're on my channel. I'm Joel, the DM/Runaway Robot. Welcome. I'm glad you guys all got to join us here today. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Twitch and the YouTube, where all the VODs for this is posted. You can go back in time and watch all the DM prep stuff. You can watch all the previous episodes. You can watch where our previous characters died. It's a great roller coaster of a time. So I was planning on starting Dark Souls 3 right after this, but good news, everyone. That's going to be tomorrow because I just got tickets to go see the Avengers movie, and I haven't seen it yet. So sorry, I'm gonna go do that.
Do it.
So again, thank you everyone for joining us here today. It's been a great time. I think what's next week? Next weekend's Mother's Day, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dip.
I am out of town. I am gonna go see my mom.
I was gonna say there's absolutely no way I can do this.
Yeah. So next week, guys, we won't have Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, but you will be able to find each of us on our various channels throughout the week. And don't forget about your moms, and send them something nice if you can't go see them. Send them a card, you know, all that good stuff. And
ahead of your enemies. It's also
ahead of your enemies is always a good choice.
Always a good choice.
And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Thank you all for joining us today, and until next time, later.
Bye.